Hello, Internet. I'm C. Parks,
And I'm Golden Rose
and
K.
today is Technical Difficulty Tuesday, July
Yeah, that's
the
what we call it.
22nd. Um,
Can we blame technicals for this?
yes.
It's a very slim margin for that joke.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 100%. Um, yeah. Yeah, my computer froze, had to restart, and then uh things went downhill from there. We started off the stream, the whole starting soon thing. Didn't say starting soon. It said thanks for watching, and then went to
It
here
just
we go.
thanks for
And
watching.
then the music wasn't playing for the first 5 seconds, and then it came back.
Mhm.
Yeah, so here we are.
EDT, technical difficulties
Yeah.
Tuesdays.
How's your week been?
It's been tiring, but we did
Same.
it. We beat Donkey Kong, less than a week, I think.
Yeah, and now
Um,
you'll talk about it.
well, yeah, we're gonna talk about that later. And like my little teaser for the review coming up is like maybe I kept dodging plans with other people because I just wanted to play Donkey Kong.
It's a good
And anytime I was at a plan with another person, I was like, man, I wish I was playing Donkey Kong.
that quote's going on the game of the year box.
Mhm.
It's gonna say I I ignored my friends to keep playing this game. Golden
I mean,
Rose
what
K.
else? What else in the I dressed up as Sonic for Halloween.
Okay, nice.
So I did that. Yeah,
Halloween in Bulai, I imagine.
Halloween in Bulai. Yes.
Can't believe I
And
wasn't
I brought my
invited.
I know. I brought my little Sonic the Hedgehog. I've ever showed you this Sonic the
Yeah, I have
Hedgehog
seen
water
this.
bottle.
Yeah. Well, not
It's so
stream,
good.
but you've shown me. It is very good. It is very good.
I don't have
Um,
the lighting right, so the stream can't really see it well.
hey, can I say it's
Anyway,
it's crazy that I haven't been invited to that event the last 2 years?
well,
Yeah.
that's what you get for moving away and betraying everyone's hearts and souls.
Okay. I moved 3,000 miles away and I can't be invited anymore.
Yeah, I got nothing. Well, how was your week? I'm just not gonna
So,
yes know that.
uh, pretty good, pretty good. What did I play? I've been playing more and more Peak.
Hmm.
Sometimes I play with a group of people. Typically, it's always been uh, like my wife's family, her siblings.
Hmm.
Sometimes just me and my wife play. We just do just the two of us. Yesterday, we were playing, and that game's it takes a while um to get through that game, and it changes daily. The mountain changes daily.
Hmm.
But yesterday was the first time that I reached the peak.
Oh,
Granted, it was on the tenderfoot setting, so it's like the easy mode, basically. It's not
hmm.
easy, it's just like, I mean, it's easier, I'd say, but it's still not easy. Um,
Did you take your flag and you plant it at the top of the mountain
there's
for
already a flag
mankind?
there.
Oh,
There's a flag there already, and a box of flares, coincidentally.
mm.
Um, but yeah, it was interesting how I beat it though, because me and my wife were playing together, and um, we got to an area that we'd been struggling with, and she was like, "I'm out of time. I got to go to work." And we'd already played like multiple times and lost, and so she left, and I was like, "You know what? I'll just mess around. I'll just do it solo
Hmm.
until it's time for me to go to work." And then I just kept progressing, and then
I like how
and
in narrative, like your hiking partner died, and then you're like, I'm just gonna keep
gotta
on
keep
going
going.
without you. Like,
Gotta keep going. So I just kept going, and I kept progressing, and um, it got to the point where I looked at the clock, and I was like, "Man, I gotta go to work, but I might be able to beat this right now." So I did. I kept playing, and I beat it, and I wasn't late for work. Got lucky with
wins all around.
the traffic. And then other than that, I played more Uma. I
Mhm.
streamed myself trying to teach people how to jump in and not be like overwhelmed and just kind of understand like here's what's happening, here's what you can do, and then like now that you know how it works, you can explore yourself kind of thing. And that's yeah, that's what I
Professor Chris.
that's what I did. Yeah, I dressed up. I put on a white collared shirt and a red tie, and I got these glasses that have don't have
It
a
was a pretty
glass.
good costume, if I do say myself.
Okay, thank you, thank
You're
you.
welcome. And I won't say it myself ever again.
Okay, and anyways, let's begin because we're starting this late.
Let's begin.
We're
Yeah,
starting
we
this
are. We
late.
gotta run.
Let's.
We gotta sprint through the show. We don't really gotta
Okay,
sprint the
so
show.
here's what we're talking about today. It's not centered. I'm gonna center it. I'm gonna center it.
Ugh, ah,
Let's hit
oh
this.
man.
I gotta do this.
Um,
Transform.
Video games are cool, everybody. You should play video games. If you haven't played a video game in a long time, they're not like
They're not
being
bad
2016
anymore.
anymore.
Games are good. We've
Games are good again.
we made games good again. We didn't. The world has.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Pokemon Presents, that happened this morning. We watched it. We're gonna comment
Whoa.
on what we saw on it. Uh we've got Kay's Bananza review, as well as just like going over how that game has been received by the general public. Um and then spoiler alert on that, I guess is the next topic. 3D platformers are back. Uh um, we'll talk about, how good 3D platformers have been very recently. And then we'll pitch a new Banjo-Kazooie, what we could see doing with. Haven't thought about this at all.
Bird and the bear.
Haven't thought about this one bit. So this will be off the cuff.
Mm.
Um then we've got Secret Sauce, which was a an indie game showcase put on by Off Brand Games,
Mhm.
which is the publishing company that Ludwig, the famous streamer, is in charge of.
From
Uh,
my home state.
not mine, but I did live there. And then we'll briefly talk about the casting of Link and Zelda in the Zelda movie because that happened.
Yeah. Right after we talked about it last week.
I know they were like, let's get this out.
We
You
can't have these two
you
buffoons.
see these idiots talking about it. Can we just like, well, let's just throw this out here. Um, so yeah, so Pokemon Presents happened this morning.
It did. I was finishing up Donkey Kong Bonanza this morning, and then I was like, "Oh God, it's time for Pokemon Presents." And then I go to the thing. Actually, I went, "I don't know what time it is," and then Pikachu was DJing. I don't know if you were in the stream
Nope.
before
I saw
the actual showcase.
I did see a picture of Pikachu DJing
Hmm.
from before this happened and also just like from the stream today. Yeah, I did see it,
He
but
had shades on. There were different Pikachu's there. At one point, they played a sick remix of Lavender Town's theme song,
hell
and
yeah.
it was. I was like, "This is a vibe."
Hell yeah, Pikachu. Pikachu getting sick. All right. So I think all right, we'll start off. Overall,
Hmm.
how did you feel about the presents? What was your like what's your like your overall
Uh,
feeling of it?
Pokemon does the same kind of thing Pokemon always does, where there's like it's very formulaic. There's like a lot of just like here's our most recent like minor update for this mobile game, this mobile game, this small game, this small game. And then these things have big player bases, so they're not necessarily small, but
Mhm.
it is like there is just like like a solid 10 minutes out of the 20-ish minutes that this was, 30-ish minutes that this was, or however long, where I was just like, yeah, this is just par for the course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but overall, there were some a little announcements I liked that'll keep things going on, and I'm more positive than negative, I think.
Yeah, I agree. So like it there was nothing in it that I thought was crazy,
Hmm.
but there were cute little things where I was like, oh, nice, neat. This is I like
Hmm.
this. Um, First thing I'll show here was if it shows. Why isn't it showing?
In the doc, I ordered the link in like reverse order, I think.
I just picked a random one. I
Or
picked Pokemon
no.
Concierge.
Hey, concierge.
Season 2.
Yeah, September.
Some clips for this September. I don't want the sound on. It wasn't for you guys, but it was for me. But I couldn't hear Kay's
Mhm.
uh, horrific sounds that they make out of their mouth. Um, but yeah, this show it's cute. I watched season 1.
It's so cute.
You like
I
yeah
love season one.
yeah it's very cute. There are
Mhm.
like parts of it where I'm like, oh, this feels like it's like for a slightly older audience. Like in this uh in this trailer, like there's a section where like a young boy goes to like help the main girl up, which just happened a second ago, and
Mhm.
they're like, "Oh, I think that's her ex," and it's just like, "Oh,
Mhm.
I don't know if they talk about that type of relationship in typical Pokemon sense of like talking about like exes."
Yeah, no, typically I would say they don't.
Yeah, but still overall, like the show is very soft.
Yeah,
As
it's very soft. It's very cute and cuddly. And it is for like as you said, like it's like for a slightly older. Like Haru's whole thing is that she's just like burnt out by work structure and life structure of the modern day era, and then she gets to do the actual thing everyone fantasizes of doing, which is just leave that world behind and go work on a little island with a bunch of cute critters.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Um, but it's nice. It's still like it's Pokemon. It's friendly for
mhm.
everybody. I always liked the way that show looked.
Mhm.
Um, it just looks cozy. I like the little like felt softness to a lot of the stuff, and then how like not everything is just like that felt. So that way, those like slimy, slippery characters or the Squirtles and the Trubbish and stuff, they're not
Mhm.
fuzzy. Um, I don't know. It just looks nice. It's very cute. I'm happy to
Mhm.
see more for that. Um,
Yeah, and we have to see like new Pokemon they're going to be in this like the next couple episodes or however many they have. Like like and truly some weird picks. Like the Shiinotic is crazy. Like I
yeah,
wouldn't have ever guessed the Shiinotic would be here,
I'm for it though. I
and
like
Lampert
Lampearl,
and Celio,
Lampert,
yeah,
Lampent.
yeah, Lampent,
I think
Lampent,
it's
yeah, because yeah, yeah.
Lampent. Yeah, yeah. I guess that is always
Mhm.
something that's fun with new Pokemon, like properties that like show Pokemon in different ways. For me, it's just like there's over 1,000 Pokemon now. Like,
Mhm.
which ones are they gonna bring in, and how are they gonna make them look and fit? And yeah, I don't know. It's nice. It's cool. Next one, another show announced.
Yeah.
This one,
Is this a show or is it a movie or is it a short? I couldn't figure that out.
good question. I thought it would be a movie. I said show. I think it's a
Mhm.
movie, but I don't know.
Mhm.
Um, this was one of those things where I was like, oh, this is neat. This is cute. This is a little neat, cute thing. Sure, I'm happy with this, and I figured you had to have been excited a little bit. Um,
Jeez, Grummet.
yeah, it is a show about a Pichu, and a Surf Fetched. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and it's made by the Wallace and Gromit team, Aardman.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Shaun the Sheep team.
Shaun the Sheep. Yep. Um, which is like cool and exciting. It
Yeah.
almost falls directly in line with Concierge, right?
Yeah, it's like two stop motion properties is a little interesting for them like to pick, but they also have I don't know, they also have an anime, so I guess they're already diversifying in general, but
Yeah, but I'm happy almost anytime I see Aardman doing something.
mhm, mhm,
And to do it with Pokemon is pretty cool and it's pretty exciting. And um I think that Surfetched is a perfect Pokemon for them. I think that
mhm,
that
mhm.
Pokemon fits right in line. I don't know who at Aardman knows anything about Pokemon heading into this. Uh, I don't know if the Pokemon Company was like, "Hey, we want to do this show with Surfetched," and they were like, "What?" And then they showed them, and they're like, "Yes." Or
It seems like very classic where like Sirfetch'd is just gonna be like the serious no nonsense one, and Pichu's gonna be just a troublemaker.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But then the Pichu slowly breaks down the Surfetched and has him be a little silly sometimes.
A little silly. Because like you can't not be a little silly when you're Sirfetch'd
That's so true.
with your giant leak.
Everybody knows that.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's cool. That's neat. Um, Pokemon Champions was shown
Yeah.
again, which I'm happy about. It's something that I thought would be here, just like Pokemon Concierge. I think I said that last week. I was
Mhm.
like, Pokemon
Mhm.
Concierge. Um, I imagined that Pokemon Champions would be there, which it is. So that's cool. Are you interested or have any excitement for this?
Every Pokemon generation for the last basically 32 no when do I remember knowing about esports and competitive gaming? I don't remember, but I always have this dream of being like, all right, this is the time I'm gonna actually like
Yeah, yeah,
put
yeah.
effort into like learning how to play Pokemon competitively. So that part of me is definitely interested, and it does seem to break down some of the barriers.
Mm-hmm.
In this trailer they showcase that you can kind of just like choose your evs for Pokemon. I don't fully know everything we're looking at. They don't really tell you what the currency system is. Like it says you have 5,000 and it takes 1,000 to rent a Gardevoir.
Yeah.
What how is that earned? Is it just battling other people? I don't know.
Yes,
Um
I can say that that's what that is.
mhm.
I did
And
see
so
I did see that online
a lot of
somewhere.
interesting.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, because I only watched the video. I didn't check like the press release or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, conceptually this is cool, and this is why I'm not 100% confident we're getting a traditional generation of Pokemon after this. Ever again, because like you could if you separate competitive Pokemon, you can do wackier things with like the things that like reveal new Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Because typically you're tied by um the mechanics of that generation. But if we make competitive Pokemon just this system, then you can do whatever the heck you want. You can make more legends, you can make more wild stuff.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that part interesting.
I agree. I think that's part of the most interesting thing with this game where if you're putting that like competitive aspect of the game into Pokemon Champions and you just update Pokemon Champions with new generations of Pokemon or whatever,
Mhm.
um yeah, you're now not limiting yourself to this traditional type of battle system for your mainline games. Um Also, I wanted to stop on this screen because this is where like the competitive people, I think this is the screen that they're looking
Mhm.
at potentially the most. I'll make it a little bigger. So this is what you were talking about with like changing the EVs, right? And this is what people were hoping for.
Mhm.
It's straight up Pokemon Showdown kind of thing, right?
Yeah, Pokemon
Um,
Showdown, eat your heart out.
hmm?
It said Pokemon Showdown, eat your heart out.
Yeah,
You made it this long carrying the scene on your back, and now you maybe dead. Who knows?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I could see it being a thing where like the top end of players, top end of players still use Pokemon
Mm,
Showdown, and then uh this introduces people into the scene more, and maybe the top end players still use this for online competitions or whatnot, but are still using Pokemon Showdown as like a training tool. But
mm,
this screen here, so you can see that what you were talking about in the top right, the points,
mm,
the these V points. I don't remember what they're called. There's 4,000 of them, and um, that those are the points that you need to spend to be able to edit a Pokemon's like EVs.
mm,
Or like that's also the like if you can't use Pokemon Home to bring Pokemon in, you can gain Pokemon through the game with these victory points. And there is a an image out there that says that these points are earned from playing the game, doing battles and whatnot, and they cannot be purchased.
cool.
So there's no
Mm,
microtransactions for this currency, which is great.
yes.
Some of the interesting things in this for competitive Pokemon. Yes, we are changing EVs and stuff like that. EVs
Mm,
are traditionally something like it's like 255 points or something like that.
mm,
This
mm,
is 66.
mm,
You can see stat points 65 out of 66 right now for what they're altering. So they it seems like they've condensed it a little bit, maybe trying to make it less overwhelming.
mm,
Um, so it's potentially like there's potential. I could see people being like, well, I wanted my special attack to get to 195, but I could only do 194 or 198 or something. Like I could
yeah.
see that. Again, I haven't like super dissected this to know like how how much this goes on.
Mm,
But yeah, you can change natures and everything just like Pokemon Showdown. So it's like
mm.
it's crazy that they did this. They did something that people wanted.
Yeah, and like I think it like really lowers the bar of entry for
Yeah,
like competitive Pokemon.
100%.
Um, which is like, and I really do appreciate it because I anytime I try to do like the effort value grinding or IV like
Yeah.
egg hatching and stuff like that, I'm just like worn down by the monotony of it all.
Oh, there was another
And
thing I
so
saw. Speaking of IVs,
mm,
there's still confusion about IVs in this game where people aren't
mm,
sure if IVs are actually a thing because every Pokemon shown, I guess, where they could see like the IVs, it was the same number. So
mm,
it's like IVs were a thing, but they were the same across the board. um,
interesting. I mean,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, like, but like, I guess like it's like if you have perfect IVs, maybe it just gives everyone perfect IVs, so you just skip the. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
maybe. Yeah, we'll learn more. It comes out in 2026.
Mhm,
I'm gonna say this was my most like this was the thing I was most interested in the showcase was Pokemon Champions because of the implications it has for like competitive and that area of bench that barrier of entry. Um, my throat. God dang orange juice. Um, so yeah, the barrier of entry and everything like that, and just like the fact that they're doing this to me is just like very interesting. That like a company like I guess Pokemon Company Yeah, I mean the Pokemon company is Nintendo, right? So like
Hmm.
I'll say like Nintendo saw something that was fan made and was like, let's do it. Let's do that
Yeah.
and make it a game. And so like that's crazy. A little scary, but also cool. And like I don't know, I'm interested to see more for that. And it's on mobile as well
Hmm.
as Switch and Switch 2, so I could definitely see myself at work just going through a battle or two in some downtime instead of
Yeah,
training
just
instead
trying out different
instead of training
teams
Umas.
and whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of training Umas, you're training Mons.
Yeah.
And I'm also very curious because I we didn't see anything in this trailer, but I know that we're maybe I don't know if we're mixing gimmicks.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like I remember in the original trailer, at least you saw different gimmicks, like in a CG thing, but I can't remember if yeah, we saw them here.
Yeah, in the first trailer. I don't remember if you saw them in that trailer either, but in the first trailer you do see a a Dynamax Pokemon versus a Mega Evolution.
Yeah, and that rules.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see kind of like how that feels. And who's out there being like, no, I'm only using Z type moves.
Right.
Who knows? Um,
I
but
can't wait to
maybe.
see the meta between the Mega Charizards and the Dynamax Charizard, you know?
Hmm. I think it would be more a direct if it was Incineroar's, although he doesn't have a mega form.
Or
But
I mean
In
he
Incineroar,
can Dynamax, but he doesn't have a Dynamax form.
yeah, I'm just like
Yeah.
Incineroar's always there and
Yeah.
competitive.
He was in this trailer too. I saw him. And
Parting shot.
Wolfie. Wolfie was in the Pokemon Pre- Presents. That's what it's called. So they put Wolfie and Incineroar together, which is crazy. I don't know.
Whoa, whoa.
Yeah. Um there was more shown here.
Yeah,
There's like a puzzle game. There was more stuff for
it's like and that puzzle game is sorry. This is I real quick.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
I don't
Go
want to
for
spend
it.
too long on it.
No, hit it.
It's just like the bare gosh darn bones of a video game. Like the puzzle game they show is just like literally the puzzle you do in like any Pokemon Ice gym where you have to just step on like
Yeah.
the snow. Like it's just that. It's just that, and then like here's a mobile game, and have fun. And I'm like, yeah, it's gonna people are gonna download it. Why not do something more that has more value? I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I think, you know, Pokemon's for children. Uh
Hmm.
that puzzle game specifically, I was like, "Oh, this is for like small children."
Yeah.
Cuz like a lot of Pokemon is like it's like accessible for adults. Like it's just a game.
Hmm.
Uh and there's like depth to it. But yeah, that Pokemon puzzle game I looked at and what they showed at least, I was just like, "Wow, this is for like I an adult will not get enjoyment out of this past like
Hmm.
an hour." Like they'll start doing these puzzles, fly through them, and then just be like, "Is this all this is?"
Yeah, I
And then
think
move
like
on.
yeah, I get you're right though. I think you just like put it on your phone and you when you give your phone to a small child, they you just let them play it.
When your nephew comes up to you and he's like, "Do you have phone? Do you have games on your phone?" You hand them that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, the most time in this direct. Oh wait, hold on. There was more stuff. What else there was? So there's that. There was a Pokemon
Po-
Sleep update. Pokemon
yeah,
Unite
Pokemon Cafe.
Cafe.
Yeah, Unite gets Latios and Latias and a new mode. Um,
Electrode Volleyball.
Cafe gets the cutest Lapras and the cutest Totodile when they're pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Which
I've never played Cafe,
me
but
neither.
they're cute.
But when they first started introing that, I was
Hmm.
like, because I didn't know it was Pokemon Cafe at first, and it was just like it was very dark, and gloomy, and there's like this
Hmm.
giant Lapras in the shadows with glowing eyes, and this like murky boat in this in like dark water and like this dock, and I was like, ooh, I like this atmosphere. And then immediately it was like Pokemon Cafe, and I was like, okay, well, okay,
Hmm.
you're cute, but like you just showed me something where I didn't know I wanted it.
Hmm.
Give me Dredge, but Pokemon. I don't know.
And then yeah, Pokemon Go update thing.
Hmm.
Where the opening to the Pokemon Go segment, this is a mild tangent, is is basically one of the VHS skits from Beyond, where like they're skydiving, and there's just monsters in the sky with them, and I would be like, it would be crazy and horrifying to start skydiving, and Eternatus is right there,
Yeah,
being like, hey,
yeah.
I am an alien.
A giant alien, like godlike creature, is just appears in the sky with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And then TCG, I think, Pocket
yeah.
update.
A new. No, was it Pocket?
No, regular
I think it
TCG,
was just
regular TCG,
TCG.
right?
Yeah, nothing for TCG Pocket. I don't think showed up here, but there was. Yeah, I don't know, a new set or something showing off for a set for
Hmm.
TCG Mega Evolution themed. To go with ZA, I imagine, because ZA is
Hmm.
Mega Evolutions, which was probably definitely like the most time spent on it. Everything else was like
Hmm.
very quick. Um, and then they got to ZA. Um, what when this showed up on screen? What
Hmm.
did you have any
Hmm.
like initial reaction?
Yeah, I think this game artistically looks bad. And I don't want to be too negative, and I'm trying to. I will not linger on the negativity. I think the art direction. I think the game kind of looks kind of flat. Uh, I think I don't love looking at it, but I'm sure I'll like it. I like Legends Arceus a lot. You get to choose not your character, but like which character. I actually don't know. They didn't make that clear.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
Yeah,
they said that like you get to choose the one who invites you to the team or something, and I went,
yeah,
wait a minute.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. The whole all of the best thing about this is Mega Dragonite. This
Sure,
whole section is
sure.
that you get to see Mega Dragonite, and then the voiceover on the video looks you dead in the eyes and goes, "Hey, we've been listening to you complain about how Dragonite doesn't look like Dragonair and Dratini at all for like 30 years. Now it kind of does.
Now,
It has."
now it kind of does. All right. So my initial reaction was, uh, for how much we've seen this game. This was
Hmm.
the best I thought it looked.
Hmm.
I thought this was the best the models looked, and like the game looked like it ran, because they can show it running on a Switch 2 now probably. Um,
Hmm.
but there is something about like the world that does just look so flat and basic. Like it's like the tree textures and bush textures. A lot of them are like just seem lower quality. I think the models look okay.
Hmm.
Um, but then I think the buildings don't look good and are very like, yeah, like you said, just like flat. It's there's not a lot of shape to things. There's like a lot of just like pointed edges that are like
You see
very.
those anti-homeless benches, by the way, in the background.
Oh my god, Pokemon! No way. Hold on. Hold on. How far back do I
You
have
have to
to?
go back like when they're
Oh,
right after Frou or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. Look at that. That's crazy.
uh, it's Luminease, right? It's the city we're in.
Lumios.
Luminease City. Yeah, Luminease City. Very, very anti-homeless
Do you think
legislation being pushed through.
there's got to be homelessness in the world of Pokemon?
Oh, for sure. Um, and it's maybe worse when there are animals that will that could kill you
Yeah,
instantly.
it's so true. There's just Pokemon that can incinerate you on the spot, that just like run around or poison you or eat you just everywhere. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I don't know.
Watch out.
I thought this was the best that this game looked. Not that I think
Mm-hmm.
this game looks particularly great or anything like that, but I thought this was the best that it looked. Um, it's I hope people are excited for it. I'm not pumped for this in any
Mm-hmm.
way, which is weird um for me, but yeah, I don't know. I there are parts of it that I think again are neat because they're different. Like this whole
Mm-hmm.
system where you're running around and you can tell your Pokemon to dodge and whatnot. There's like that slight active battle to it. Um, there's Mega Dragonite right there.
Nino Cooney like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that. Um, when I first saw this design, I didn't like it. I wasn't into it.
I I immediately went with like, oh man, like that's not very cool. And then I went, no, Dragonite's derpy as fuck. He needs to stay derpy and silly looking, and I think this does keep him silly looking. I like it.
It does keep him derpy and silly. There's a part of me that's just like I wish those wings were just on its back.
Yeah,
Um,
like a
but
normal creature.
but then when it was like look, it has the bead on the tail just like Dragonair and the wings on its head just like Dragonair. I was like, fine. Okay. I'll take it.
Where did they go in the in between? Who knows? Uh,
They weren't, and also I think Dragonite's just like normal wings got smaller.
mm-hmm.
Um,
It's my favorite
maybe.
mailman.
But yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. It's a Pokemon. And it's only a Mega Evolution, you know? So they don't even stay that way if you don't like the way it looks. um so yeah, this was what they spent the most time on. There was actually I did think of one other thing that they showed, because you brought up the homelessness benches. Is there is like a Pokemon park that
Oh yeah, 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 the theme park.
they're putting in. It's like a I don't know. I guess it's a theme park. Yeah, because it is
Yeah.
Pokemon themed and it is literally a park. And it has two sections. It has like an indoor and an outdoor, not an indoor and an outdoor, uh, a wilds and a town
Mhm.
portion with Pokemon around. And it seems very just like casual, relaxed. Like it didn't seem like there were
Yeah.
rides or anything in it. It just seemed like it was like a neat little place to walk around. I think it's set in a amusement park in
Yeah,
Japan.
Yomura Land,
Yeah.
um, which is it's a theme park. Here, with it's a theme park with rides in different sections in different areas. It's very much it's Japan's like one of their larger ones, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
When I read about it this morning. Um, Japan has a lot of these, like when they showcase Pokemon Kanto, Pokepark Kanto. Um,
That's what it's called. Yeah.
um, they have a lot of these kind of more like because they are theme parks, but they're not like when we think of a theme park, we think of like Disney World or Universal,
Yeah.
these big ride themes. But these are no, these are just like legitimately there are parks, there are little areas that you go and you walk around an actual park, you interact with things. Like the Dragon Quest one is one I always think about where it's not that big, but you walk into this area and then you have a little app and then you hi and then you no sorry um and you my cousin just got home, they got distracted.
It's
So
okay.
you go in there and you have your little mobile app and then you like level up your Dragon Quest character, and like while you just walk around a park, it's like very like it's way smaller of a um thing than the grandness of theme parks that we get typically.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
went on a tangent to just say the same thing twice, I think, but
I appreciate something like that though.
Hmm.
Like that'd be
Yeah, because it's cute as heck.
yeah, it's super cute, and it just I don't know, it'd just be nice to walk around and hang out there. Like
Hmm.
that still sounds
If
dope.
if I was going to Japan in 2026 and not near the end of this year, I would definitely go to this. I'd make people go to this with me.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. It's cute. Um, and then yeah, and then for I think for the most part, that's it. That was the whole Pokemon Presents.
Hmm.
Um,
I do want to say like one thing about ZA and I guess Pokemon in general, which is like I don't really know how you where you go anymore with it as a franchise because of like I don't know, they've talked in the past of like we have to model 1,000 different Pokemon
right.
and like we have this amount and we have a 30 attacks for each Pokemon and an animation budget, blah blah blah. And it comes out to like it just always ends up in being like this kind of the last like 3 or 4 games, this stale-ish looking atmosphere, environments, and kind of stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, that I don't particularly love, but I also don't think you can go back to sprites as much as I would like that. I don't know. You make a more focused, smaller game with better art style.
I think uh you don't have. I mean, they kind of do this
Mm-hmm.
already. I think maybe they just have to do it different. But they have uh post-launch content updates with new areas and new
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon and stuff like that. Um, but again, the areas just like the quality just falls short.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe you just tone back how many Pokemon are at launch, and then you um make you know don't put 1,000 Pokemon in, put 300, put 200,
Mm-hmm.
and then uh make them look good, make the animations look better, make the world look better. Um, that's what I would like the most is like for the world just to look nicer, and then
Yeah,
just
100%.
a slow content drip of new Pokemon, and like maybe there is an area that you add as the uh like the area where it's like this is where you encounter those new Pokemon. But I don't think it has to be a big thing with a story.
Mm-hmm.
Not every time at least. Like you can have like a almost like a safari zone, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's just like here's the Pokemon this week in the safari zone. And then like, hey, this week in the safari zone, 3 new Pokemon that we haven't launched yet in here. And then just like slow drip feed new Pokemon as they're ready
Mm-hmm.
through like the Safari Zone or something. And that way the main game is maybe a little tighter and focused. Uh and you can put more time and effort into the world and the mechanics and whatnot. I don't know.
I would like that. I
Yeah.
just like I don't know how much like my body like my brain will be able to continue playing like I don't know. I go back to Scarlet Violet even on Switch 2. I like it more, but it still doesn't look good and I just sad that ZA doesn't like I again visually artistically doesn't look good.
Yeah.
The gameplay is always fun. Gameplay is always good. Um and I want to like Pokemon because it's like you born in the 90s, you played Pokemon, it felt like.
Mhm. I well, I was born in the 80s, but whatever.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um I think this is the exact reason why I am excited for Pokemon Champions.
Hmm.
It just gives me the Pokemon to battle, and it looks the way it looks, and it's fine. Uh, and I'm just gonna do the battles, and then I don't have to worry about what area there are frame rate drops or it doesn't look good or whatnot. So yeah, I don't know. I thought the Pokemon Presents was fine. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting anything crazy. I was expecting small things that I could be uh a little excited for, that I could think were cool. And that's what we got, you know. I think there are people who were upset that we didn't get Gen 10, 11. We didn't get the next generation announced. And although it was possible, I just didn't see it. I just didn't see it until after ZA, or at least, you know, maybe closer to ZA's launch.
Yeah.
That was just how
Yeah.
I
It's
felt.
interesting because like I do wonder when that will be and what that will look like
Yeah.
at the end of the day. All right.
Yeah. So that was Pokemon Presents. Next up, uh,
Monkey time.
it's yeah, it's time to go Bonanza. Um,
Whoa.
I have not played this game yet.
Mm-hmm.
I This is one of the console games that I know, just like I'll get it at some point when I can. I'll get it, and thankfully it's on the Switch, and I can just bring it around and play it whenever and wherever when I do have the money and time and everything to play it. But uh, lots of other people have played this.
Yeah, including me.
You played it.
I beat it. I beat it. I 100%ed base game,
You did.
which I went every got every banana you can get before you beat the credits.
That's
Then once you beat the credits, there's more bananas everywhere. So I don't have. It's not like a real 100% yet.
okay. So you get all the bananas, you beat the game, and then they give you more bananas.
There is post game content, which is really cool. And not something I initially expected. Although like Mario Odyssey, I think like Darker Side of the Moon, all that stuff. But
Yeah.
um,
Yes, it did.
yeah,
Which
to
some
get
people say is the best part of that game, but
yeah. Um, Donkey Kong Bonanza is pretty incredible. It is very much just in the same vein as Odyssey. You have movement tech, you have platforming tech, but it has that destructibility that you see in all the trailers, where you just run around and you dig through the planet. Um, and the core loop of that is satisfying. It just feels pretty good for the most part to just bury your little monkey hands into the earth and rip it apart. Um, and basically the just very clear loop is that you don't know where banana is, you don't know where a collectible is, you dig, you have a little sonar clap that you do that either shows you where a banana is, or you keep digging and then you unlock little chests which give you little icons on your map being like, hey, there's a fossil over there. Like you get a little treasure map
mm-hmm.
or there's a banana over there. And so you just basically you're destroying and finding, you're destroying and finding. Um, and it feels good to play. It's cute as all hell. I talk about this to anyone who will listen to me in the past week is like every time you open a little hideout, you pay like 100 gems or 100 like currency gold to make a little hideout, and then you can sleep in there. You to restore your health, to gain health bar, or you can change your outfit, or you can listen to the soundtracks that you've unlocked. And the default one in these hideouts is the DK rap.
That's
Um,
default.
where like yeah, but like it's like a slight remix where it's like doesn't have all of the rap parts. It's just a DK.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's just like but every time you go to sleep, the first time in each hideout, and it's the most adorable thing on the planet. It literally just it I love it so much, is that Pauline always goes like, "Hey, DK, are you awake?" And then you can either go, hmm, or you go z z z z. And she always just has some very sleepover-esque thing to say. Whether it's just like, I don't understand how you can run on water as a zebra, or like just like a really silly thing that like is cute and adorable, and it's Pauline trying to make sense of what's happening, or being like just like talking about nonsense. I
Yeah.
love it. Other than that, the boss fights are pretty easy for the most part until the latter half of the game. Um, the characters are that you meet are good. The villains are good. They have like interesting motivations, especially the bot of the because the main three of the Void Kong
Yeah.
or Void Kong himself, and he's whatever. But his two underlings are just paid employees, and they just have very different personalities. And every time you beat one of them in a battle, you can just talk to them. And then I'd be like, ah, man, it's just a job to me. Or they'll be like, ah, like I really wanted to fight you, like and get the better on you this time, but maybe next time.
that's
So like it
that's interesting.
good.
That's funny. That's fun.
Um, what else?
So,
Pauline might technically be the strongest person, the strongest human in the Mario universe, because I think Rosalina is technically not a human. I don't know.
I don't
So,
know. But why do you say
because
that?
she gets some powers in this game. Her like so it's very clear from the beginning that her singing is what helps you transform into all of these different forms.
Hmm.
And then they established pretty early on, like, hey, your voice is something special, and then the things she's able to do is pretty crazy
Okay.
with her voice. Other than that, the environments are fun. Each floor feels visually distinct. Each floor feels different um, to interact with. Different terrains are, they're harder to dig through. Um, you get um, I like there's like branching paths a couple times. That makes it for interesting like choice decisions, like which power up do you want to get, because like which layer do you want to go to first. Um, and I had one other thought train on this. What was it? Oh yeah, the different layers aren't all necessarily the same like kind of gameplay gimmick. There will be other layers that like were like, oh, there's not that many bananas to actually find here. It's more of like an exploration and like chill out kind of area. Or it's like a one floor layer, or it's a three floor layer, what have you.
Okay.
Which does like break up like I don't know, just like it breaks up the ride that you're on.
So thank you, Domo in chat says word on the street is that Donkey Kong is Game of the Year potential. We heard that, or I heard that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like something you agree with?
Yeah, and I think it will be a lot of people's game of the year. It's probably not mine. Um, I still love the game. I think that my game of the year is get locked in and will be locked in between two different things at the end of the
Between
year.
two different things.
Yeah, because like is Hades 2 gonna come out this year?
Oh, okay. And then
Because it's
Expedition
either
33.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
either Clair Obscur or
Yeah.
Hades 2. Um, and that's mostly just because of like the narrative of Clair Obscur and a little bit of like it punching upwards. Is
Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I
Donkey Kong can punch upwards in this game.
Yeah, but he mostly punches down. um, one of the more interesting things I don't think a lot of people know about until you get your hands on the six is that let me get my Switch controller so I can remember what buttons are which. The B button is punch down, the
Yeah.
Y button is punch forward, the X punch button is punch up, and then the A button is jump.
Yeah.
Um, which is a little weird to get used to at first,
I've heard that.
and it's a little weird to like climb while digging
Okay.
because
Okay.
you have to just like kind of spam jump and punch up
Yeah.
like back and forth. It just feels that feels a little weird.
Uh
What
so
else?
so let's see. So first of all,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what
before
questions you?
stream started,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm gonna say this as a teaser, as a little enticing thing for people who haven't played and maybe don't know and who haven't been spoiled. No, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but you explained to me some major spoilers.
Yeah, man.
Some major spoilers. Um and as part of those major spoilers, I'm now like watching this
Mm-hmm.
gameplay in this game and just going like, huh. Like
Hmm.
when I see things, I'm just like, oh,
Hmm.
hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
I guess like yeah, not part of the spoiler, but I would like I guess the biggest thing I want to say is the last like hour and a half of this video game is some of the coolest stuff imaginable. It's just like it's a good game. It's a great game all throughout. It had its fangs in me. I was talking to Chris. I was like, I just wanted to play it all the time. Um,
yeah,
and
you said people asked to hang out, and you said no, and then you just played Donkey Kong instead.
Yeah, and I got to the point where I was like, I knew I was like one or two layers away from the ending, like last night, and I just stayed up. So I like went to sleep at like 10 a.m. this morning because I was like, I need to beat the game. We're gonna talk about the game. I need to beat it. I'm so close. I'm having so much fun. And then once a certain thing happens, I was like in overdrive mode. I was like, this is so fucking cool. I I just was smile on my face, enamored the whole time.
Okay, so that was the last. You said hour and a half,
Hmm.
which is like a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
Um, how long did it take you to get to that point? And
So it took.
I guess how long did it take you to get there? But also like how how like streamlined were you to get there, or how like off the beaten path did you go? Like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely not streamlined at all. It took me 36 hours, 36, 37 hours. And I made sure to get every banana and I unlocked most costumes. I think there might be a couple I didn't. Um, and I could very easily unlock the ones I didn't unlock. It would just take like literally like probably an hour of my time.
Hmm.
So yeah, this if you want a 100% complete base game, around 36 hours if you like I don't like or an average gamer, I would say. Um, you can definitely beat it. There's some speedrun tech I've seen on the internet, and I'm like, whoa, hey, I'm like, this is crazy. Um,
It is,
but
yeah, I haven't seen too much speedrun tech. I've seen like some small things. Um and like I don't like when as they're explaining it, I don't quite understand it because I haven't played the
mhm,
game yet. And like the impact it has in whatever types of skips or whatever. Um but it does seem like uh it's like Metroid Dread had
mhm,
like a pretty good speedrunning community like early on. And it was cool because the game was good, and there were some things in there that just like felt natural for speedrunners, I think. And some of the stuff for this game, just like with the world and the mechanics, like
mhm,
and it's something that like I think Nintendo's been doing more and more, where they give you a world and they give you like I mean, I guess the best example would be like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, where they give you a world and they give you tools, um but there's no like I guess no rules. Like they just
mhm.
give you the tools to do stuff, and there's like clear ways that they want you to use the tools, but it's
Yeah,
completely open to do whatever your mind can think of. And I think because of
yeah.
that and the type of game this is, it feels like speedrunning this could be fun and
Mhm.
awesome and like just lends itself to it nicely.
And not and like not even also like on that same note, an example, not even on the speedrunning tech, just like as a like a puzzler, a person playing this game, like you see a banana, and in retrospect, I'm like, oh, I technically should have waited until I got this power up to do this, but I found a way to brute force it because my brain saw a banana, and I was like, I need to figure out how to get there.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do some nonsense with like the ground
What
clumping
did
up mechanics and
what
and
did your brain say?
um,
It
I'm
said
getting this banana.
it said
It
ooh
says, "Oh,
banana. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
banana!"
yeah.
Every time you
Okay.
get a banana, you hear it. So
Yeah.
good. And then Pauline is like, "Wow, you really like bananas, DK." That's not every time, but it's adorable. But yeah, so there are ways where you can like manipulate the movement tech, similar in Mario Odyssey, where they do like you can throw the cap, you can do the roll animation to hit the cap in midair, and that allows you to do like more complex jumping mechanics, platforming. There is similar stuff to this where like you can grab a piece of gravel, you can spin on it like you're doing like the surf mechanic into throwing it over your head so you can use it to double jump and then switch into a different Bonanza power to do different type of movement tech. Um, so like I saw people being like, oh, there's actually a way that we figured out you can skip getting this Bonanza power, which is really I don't know how the end of the game will be like, but I'm sure they found out a way to do it. Um, because like the ending is very much of like here's each section to use each power kind of thing.
Yeah, that
Um,
that was something that I saw for like speed run tech that I didn't quite understand the impact of was basically just like, oh, we found a way to get over to this section of
mhm,
this level before we activated this other thing that we were supposed to do, basically. Um, and that's I don't know, that's cool. It's fun that
mhm.
they made a cool game and they're just like, yeah, here you go. I don't.
Yeah, it's like, and what I really like, and I guess like my final thought is that not only does it feed my like ADD brain where I just need to be doing something and destroying something at all times and like just like moving. It also like succeeds really well at being like, I think I can get that. I'm going to figure out how to get that in my active like actual puzzle thinking brain. Like both the ape in me and the human in me both satisfied.
I th- I think something that I heard explained in this game, which I think is exciting, and when you do this and you you complete like whatever goal you're doing, it's like immensely satisfying. But people were talking about the um I think they described it as like controller gymnastics or finger gymnastics or something,
Mhm,
where they were like, yeah, the finger gymnastics in this game for these sections where it's just like doing these sequences of like just like moving your finger around a lot to like
mhm,
different, not just spamming the same buttons, whatever. Um, it almost it makes me think of like doing combos and like Smash Brothers or something like that, and doing those like gymnastics and then pulling off what you were trying to do uh is a really cool like fun experience that I think you typically get in like a fighting game, but it's cool to have like that sort of stuff in platformers because there are other platformers
mhm,
that kind of do that. And first thing that came to my mind was Odyssey, which you already explained.
mhm.
um I don't know about Astrobot, if Astrobot does stuff like that, but yeah, that's just I don't know. That's a cool feeling that like watching people play this and do certain things, I can like almost like feel how it feels to pull it off, and it's
Mhm.
fun, it's cool, and it's like it feels rewarding. Or it looks like it feels rewarding. I'm played.
It feels good, and like when you yeah it when you get something off like that, you're like, all right, if I do this combination of buttons, if I turn into this Bonanza and then midair turn into another Bonanza and then throw the rock that I've been carrying, like you're just like, oh man, I'm so happy that worked the way my brain thought it would.
Yeah, because a lot of times in games where it's like maybe you're puzzling something out or trying to get across places, it's very much like step, stop. Now what do I do?
Mhm.
Okay, step, stop. Okay, okay, compose myself, go. Okay, okay, and that's fine. That feels more traditional, but yeah, just like that. It's just that activeness of like your mobility is sounds really cool. And I'll get this game eventually. I know I will.
Mhm.
And I'm not. I knew I wasn't getting it at launch, so I wasn't upset about seeing spoilers because I have no idea when I'll be able to get it. So I'm bound to see them. But
I'm so happy for more people to see the ending last hour and a half of this game.
I'm so
I truly think it's wonderful.
yeah. I'm. You told me about it. It's nothing I had seen before. I'm
Mhm.
excited to go like watch that. And like
Mhm.
I love watching like reaction clips and reaction videos of like typically it's just like game showcases or something like that, like game announcements. But I feel like that I don't know, that just sounds like a good one. There's like if there's people who weren't spoiled by it that I can get like I can see their reactions to, that just sounds like an exciting, fun like
Mhm.
like you said, hour and a half of a game just to be like, whoa, this is
Mhm.
cool. Um,
And
I guess it's not really a
um,
clip because it's like full on like end of a game, but yeah.
it's just yeah, it's just like the entire time. It's like especially I guess I'm gonna derail myself and go like my favorite thing about this game is how I kind of didn't expect it to have this much love for Donkey Kong, which is stupid to say, I think, in hindsight. But like, there's just so much in this video game that is filled with Donkey Kong Country references, Donkey Kong 64 references, Donkey Kong arcade references, the mini bot game, the Donkey Kong versus Mario.
Yeah.
I can't remember
Yeah, I think
the
that's
name of
it.
that game.
Or Mario vs.
There
Donkey
is like
Kong. Yeah.
yeah, there's just references to that, returns, and I was like, ah, this is such good like throwbacks, but it never felt like it was doing it just to be like a cute reference. Um, Mostly, I think there's like one challenge level that I was like, all right, I get what we're doing. But like it all felt like it was built into the world like perfectly. It was treated with respect. The music was incredible. When it was like a reworked David Wise song, like from Donkey Kong Country, I was like, oh man, this hits so well. When it was a new song, I'm like, it felt very Mario Odyssey, but it was still very good. Um, Also, every time you turn into a banana, like one of the Bonanza forms, Pauline sings a different song for each like animal, and
Hmm.
you can just switch on the dime. So, and then most of them are just like Z zebra Z. Like it's just like singing the whatever animal you are, and then a bunch of other like words, and the hook is always the animal.
Yeah.
And those are always bangers too. And I found myself just wanting to like switch into certain forms
Because you're just
and
like,
like
I just want to hear this
just
song
vibe.
again.
Yeah.
I want to hear the zebra song one more time before bed. Um, yeah, and so you clearly love it.
Hmm.
The, you know, general population seems to love it. Like, I brought up earlier, Domo said it in chat. Word on the street is game of the year. Potential, you said it's not yours, but it's up there, and you can see it being people's game of the year.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't think anyway it's not in my like top five.
yeah,
I just like my top
and it does have co-op.
list.
It does have co-op. It
Hmm.
is uh parent-child co-op is how I would describe it.
Hmm.
Where it's like it's the same as they did in like Galaxy.
Hmm.
Galaxy Super Mario Galaxy had co-op. I think Odyssey also has it, but Galaxy is just like I think maybe the intro to this. But in Galaxy it was just like one person was just like pointing at the screen and throwing the star bits at stuff
Hmm.
to like stun enemies or whatever they were doing. In this game, it's that just like more powerful. Where it's just like Pauline, your player two is pointing at the screen and throwing words that Pauline is yelling or singing to destroy stuff, and those words you can get different materials for based on like what is around the world. So you can get a rock material, and so the words that you're saying are all basically just you're just throwing giant rocks at everything,
Hmm.
so it can help you destroy stuff. And it's yeah, it's not like a real proper like co-op
Yeah,
that
you're not
like
equal.
yeah, yeah, it's one person's playing the game and the other person's just kind of there and just kind of like wreaking havoc on
Hmm.
whatever, and that's
Yeah, it's like it's slightly more than past your like unplugging controller to your sibling or you
yeah,
know.
yeah. um so yeah, so it's you know people love it, it's really good. um is is the 3D platformer back, and did it ever
Duh.
leave?
Duh. Um, that's a great question. Who knows? And so I think 3D platformers are I mean, okay. I don't know. How am I going to start this nonsense I'm about to say? Platformers are gaming like personified, I think, and like that's just how my brain looks at it when I think of video games because I'm trained on Mario 1. I think of jumping.
Hmm.
And there was a time in our lives in our youth where it was like you need to have a 3D platformer. And they were everywhere. And there were mascot platformers, 3D platformers everywhere. And
Hmm.
then they did go away a little bit. And they middled in quality as like people didn't really know how to seemingly like adjust them to like the edgy era or the modern era.
Hmm.
But if like we're talking about like 3D platformer hybrids, I think technically have just been around and decently successful. I would argue something like Ratchet and Clank still kicks and still carried on throughout the PS3 generation and the PS4 generation. But like the pure Donkey Kong, Mario Odyssey, and as we're about to talk about Astrobot, um, they have become more, I guess, like arcadey, like back to their roots.
Yeah.
I think lately.
Yeah, I think for, forever, for these like 3D platformers, it was just Mario was at the top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we had gotten stuff like for instance, like Ukulele
Ukulele.
came
Mm-hmm.
out, and it was like some people liked it, some people
Mm-hmm.
didn't really care about it, but it was never anything special. But it was a team that got together and was like, "Hey, we want to try to bring those games to the modern era of gaming." Um, and yeah, it just like never nobody could ever really get that same like love and like just like mass appeal that they used to have. Um, and it was just Mario. And then like I think like Mario Odyssey was probably a Game of the Year nominee.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then last year we had Astrobot. Uh, won a lot of Game of the Years. Won like the game show.
The Keeley.
Yeah, one. It's Jeff Keighley's show Game of the Year. Um, and that game was very Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and in more ways than just like uh the platforming, but it also had that like Mario, and you see the same thing in Donkey Kong, where it just has that like care and love of like its property and um its history. Whereas like Astrobot, it's not necessarily Astrobot's love and history, it was
Mm-hmm.
Sony as a whole and its properties and the history of Sony and the love and care that it showed for its own history there. Mario, it's Mario Odyssey, it shows all, the love and care for his story, the new Donkey Kong Bonanza, like you were talking about, just like so much care into like what got us to this point in gaming for Donkey Kong. Um and it's it's just one of those things now where like it feels like people are doing it right, and like hopefully we just see more. um I think the 3D platformer collectathon is like, it's such an easily accessible concept,
Mm-hmm.
um that like hopefully we just see more people, more big companies making these games. So like, you know, another, I would take another one from Nintendo anytime for another
Mm-hmm.
property. Um, I can't. We see another Astrobot, right? We have to.
Yeah, we for sure we have to. I also just want to kind of give the kudos to I think maybe it was like 2018, 20 whenever the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy came out.
Hmm.
and it was like, here's like it's the same three games from like yesteryear, but like with minor differences and prettier, and that selling really really well. I did think helped make other publishers and other developers being like, oh, maybe we can do this again, maybe like because we haven't been brainstorming 3D platformers because like we had like we that market didn't seem viable, and
Hmm.
then that came out, sold a lot, it sold a whole bunch of copies. And like I think Crash 4 also sold pretty well, not as well,
I can't
but
remember how well it sold,
um
but people liked it.
and that was like what, 2020, I think Crash 4 came out. um so like those coming out and the kind of the revival, I guess we'll say, of like that kind of arcadey 3D platformer. Crash is more on the like kind of challenge side because it is like very much you play the one level in like four different ways
Hmm.
than like a collectathon, um, like an Astrobot or a Bonanza or an Odyssey. But I think that did give a lot of like either indie developers also or AAA developers to go ahead to be like, yeah, yeah, spend your money.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that Crash is with Microsoft right now,
Mm-hmm.
just with how that's going, and like I have no hope, because like people did like Crash 4 was a success, like critically. I'm
Mm-hmm.
fairly certain. I'll look that up real quick. Crash. I typed in Crash the Bandicoot.
Crash the Bandicoot. You're so Sonic Brain.
I know. Crash Bandicoot for It's About Time. Metacritic 85. Really, really
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yeah, yeah, really good.
Um, Donkey Kong for references at a 91.
Mm-hmm. But
Uh,
that's like incredible.
which is absolutely incredible. Yeah. It's gone up since I checked it last. Last I saw it was at a 90, so it's even gone up to a 91
Mm-hmm.
on average. Um, and also just for reference, uh, Crash Bandicoot 4 based on 95 critic reviews, Donkey Kong based on 96. So like very very similar amounts. Um, both good games, really good games, turns out. And like I think they're just that character has been around for a long time. Hasn't quite gotten as many games as maybe he should have. Kind of similar to Donkey Kong in a sense. Um, but like Crash has a great history, and like someone at Microsoft has to be like, we have Crash Bandicoot.
Mm-hmm.
The last game we did sold really well.
Yeah,
Like, and now look at Astrobot and look at Donkey Kong and look how great they're being received and how great they're selling. They're winning awards, or well, I guess in Donkey Kong's sense potentially. Um, give Crash that treatment, give Crash that love. I just
yeah.
I just don't trust
Uh,
Microsoft to do that.
no, especially because like I actually have one thought that I wanted to get to, and then we'll talk about Microsoft, which is just like I do think that like the 3D platformer revival is in a very interesting place where it is sales wise, it's like for kids and it's for people who grew up with them who haven't played a 3D platformer like that, like when like, oh yeah, I remember playing this, like nostalgia kind of pick.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I do think there is still that annoying, and like I don't want to speak poorly, but there is a certain base that is like, oh, this is not like this is too kiddie of a game, and I'm like, you just should. They're fun and they're challenging. You should try it.
Yeah.
But with Microsoft, it's just so frustrating now because we know, we've talked about Microsoft in the past, and they're, the way they are now in the current era, as a company, and them having like the Disney Vault on Crash Bandicoot and Banjo, and I think even Spyro maybe, because who made that?
Activision,
Vicarious
I think.
also. Yeah, yeah. So also Spyro, and like that's 1999 platformers that they just have, and I don't. expect them to do much with that. And so now, yeah, you have to rely on PlayStation coming out with a whole new mascot and betting on Astrobot, and which succeeded far more than their last attempt. Because, like, you would argue, Little Big Planet, while not 3D, is still like an attempt to make a 3D mascot. Because eventually they tried,
They did try it.
brought him.
It didn't go well.
And yeah, and like it's just I don't know. IP rights are one thing, and I don't need to get really mad about copyright because I I will. It's just it sucks that we won't see like a brand new Crash for a while with like the care and love when Microsoft is chasing $1 billion, and not $1 million.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, um I'm trying to think like who else is even out there for a platformer to
mhm,
like pull something off like this with its history. And like Sony doesn't have Crash anymore. Like we said, that would have been
mhm,
Sony's.
mhm,
Which actually, you know what? That's also a weird thing for Microsoft is that the majority of its history for its like platform dude is for your competitor.
mhm.
Um, I don't
I think
know.
the first Crash 4 was an Xbox game. The one that's not titled Crash 4, Crash Night Refueled. No, that's the racing one. But that also might have been Xbox as well.
I don't know if Microsoft has made one since it acquired it. I can't remember. I know it's been on Microsoft consoles. Uh,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry. Yeah, I meant yeah,
but
Activision. I remember. I think they exclusively published a Crash game to Xbox original.
okay, yeah. But since Microsoft itself has owned it, I don't think they've done
Yeah, no.
a game. But yeah, there's not too much that I can think of that has like that sort of history that these other games have.
That's kind of why I think you get like you just get the Croc reimagining, you get the Gex reimagining with like smaller companies.
Yeah.
They're not looking. They're not that. They don't put that much like money into really modernizing it, into really
Hmm.
reinventing it. You just get like, oh, you can play these games again on the modern consoles, which
Yeah.
is good. But Croc and Gex and Bubsy don't have the cachet culturally that
No. Bubsy's got a cachet, but not the type of that he wants.
pilot's license. Who needs one?
Yes.
Uh, I guess like the only thing is that obviously Jack and Daxter, Sly Cooper, right? But those are both and those are trapped with Sony, and they're not doing anything with them. So
Right. And like even then, like um maybe it's just me. Cause like, my life, I didn't have a PlayStation 2.
mhm,
Played very, very little PlayStation 3, uh, and onwards. So like I played Crash because I had a PlayStation 1. I played
mhm.
Spyro and uh what else? I thought we said something else. I don't know. But yeah, those Jack and Daxters and Ratchet and Clanks, like those are never in my memory bank because like I never played
Mhm.
them. And like I've never, without knowing enough about them, I guess, but like I never looked at them and thought that they were the same type of game.
Yeah,
Um,
they definitely like I would yeah, like they're more like slightly more story based. They have more melding of genres where like Sly is half stealth game, Ratchet's half third person shooter.
mhm.
Um Jack and Daxter is half of a mess. That's being mean. Jack 1 is very much a 3D platformer collectathon. Jack 2 and Jack 3 I don't care about.
Okay. And that's okay. Um, I mean, we can we can move on to this next bit we have here because it ties.
Really quickly,
Yeah.
actually. I want to pause. I just wanted to vamp about it because I want to sell this indie game. On the docket, I put Lunasis in for 3D platformers. If you want to pull that up real quick
I don't. Oh, yeah, I do see it. Okay.
on the VOD. Lunasis is a independently made small team. You could even be one developer, independent stage-based 3D platformer in the vein of like a Sonic or like a I don't know like a 3D Mario, but stage based. So I guess more like a Crash, I guess. And it is very pretty. It is the aesthetic rules, the music rules, and it's some of the most fun 3D platformer game I've played in a long time. There are like rail sections, like you're playing like Sonic Adventure 2. There's really cool movement tech. It also does that thing that I've talked about in the show before, where there's like other indie 3D platformer games, like you can unlock those mascots to play as, and they have different mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
So like Tori is another indie 3D platformer, and Tori is like a one hit you die character. So in this game, Tori has one hit and die. There's Tori, the
Yeah.
little bird. Um, and but they also get like a triple jump or something like that. So it's just a really cute, really adorable indie 3D platformer that I just want to vamp about because it rules.
Cool. Yeah. It's gonna look. Yeah, I think that's part of like this topic is my thought of it is like, and we kind of touched on it a little bit, is like for a long time the 3D platformer was like largely reserved for like indies.
Yeah,
Um,
Nintendo and indies.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was Nintendo was doing it with Mario, and then like here and there with some other stuff that I can't think of right now. But they definitely they've had some platforming. And then yeah, then just like the indie scene. Um, and like I'm sure we could go on forever about how the indie scene runs the whole scene, you know, and how the indie scene
Yeah,
keeps genres alive and is where new ideas come from. And how it's bigger than ever and whatnot. But and I think this is a topic for another day, of course. But something that I've slowly been thinking about, maybe we'll do it next week, is just uh games and genres that indie devs have been doing that you would like to see like a bigger team try to tackle. Um,
yeah, yeah. I can talk
and I
about that. I
won't.
got that.
Yeah, I've thought about that a little bit, so maybe next week. But yeah, I think without Nintendo and the indies, the platform genre like didn't exist in the last
Mhm.
20 years. Um,
Sure. And it's like hard. Is like what do we have in the last 20 years? Banjo Kazooie, nuts and bolts.
right there, yeah, there like there's that like there's that other platformer that like Nintendo made that was like really really well, and again like Microsoft has it, and its whole history
Mhm.
isn't with Microsoft,
Mhm.
unless you look at like nuts and bolts, which isn't a platformer
Not really, no.
and isn't.
But it,
It wasn't received well though.
no, it wasn't.
If they make that game now,
But did it walk so Bonanza could run? I don't know. Did it
no,
walk so Tears of the
maybe Tears
Kingdom
of the
could run?
Kingdom could run. Yeah. I still think if that game was made today,
Mhm.
it's still a disappointment because
Yeah, for sure.
it's Banjo Kazooie. Um,
Banjo and
but
Kazooie.
we could talk about what we think Xbox could do with a Banjo Kazooie, right?
Well, yeah,
And
look at that.
and
Set you up for the segue. You nailed it, in my
and
opinion.
and you know, I think now more than ever you have such an easy, beautiful blueprint to look at with
Hmm.
Donkey Kong Bonanza. Um,
Yeah.
again, I don't really trust Microsoft. I love Rare. Uh, you know, they they potentially have Microsoft's like, oh look at there's the Baron Bird. Um, Rare might have Microsoft's like biggest first party game like since Halo, in Sea of Thieves.
Hmm.
Like I can't really think of any other like big first party Microsoft uh properties that are like doing well.
Yeah, especially in the way that like Microsoft wants them to do
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
right?
because you know, I was gonna say we all remember Redfall, but do we? The because
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
I don't think many. That was a
Yeah.
poor game, poor
I'll only
decision.
remember Redfall because of Phil Spencer going on the kind of like Gamecast and being like, "We fucked up. Shouldn't have been released. I fucked up," and him taking ownership, which is what that's what the shareholders pay Phil for, is to take all the fault and have people still like him. So whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like I'll never forget Redfall for that. But Rare,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want? Would you want Rare to make a Banjo Kazooie? Would you want another company?
No, I would want Rare. Um,
Hmm.
a large part of it is whether or not there are still people there who did um those games. I still think the core of Rare, like the core idea in Rare in their games, from what I've seen at least in Sea of Thieves, transfers over to Banjo Kazooie, just with its like lighthearted and goofiness and like I I don't know. I would trust whoever is still at Rare to make a good Banjo Kazooie game. Um, and yeah, like I was saying, like the blueprint's there. I think with Bonanza, in looking at the like Donkey Kong's Bonanza forms, with Bonanza's the different transformations that he can go through
Hmm.
and the different powers that he goes through, I think, and how you can chain them together and this and that, I think just lends itself to Banjo and Kazooie and their different forms of mobility and abilities, for you know combat, flying, rolling, jumping, just like the different things that they can do. I think feel similar to how it could in Bonanza. Um, I don't think obviously you do a destructible world like
Hmm.
Bonanza is mostly, but I still think it's just like if you took the platforming, I mean the destruction out of Bonanza, you threw in Banjo and Kazooie, and you took out the Bonanza forms and like just related them to the Banjo forms, you could run
Hmm.
around one world. You could see a clip of that and being like, "Oh yeah, this looks good." Um, so yeah, I think that's the start of my pitch at least is like the
Hmm.
the Bonanza forms in Donkey Kong, throw them into Kazooie in some form or way. What about what are thoughts you've had?
So the easy, and we're gonna start with just like the quick easy one, and then I'm gonna go away for my own zaniness. The quick easy one is like Toys for Bob or Vicarious, whatever's left of Vicarious.
Okay.
Um, who did like the Crash Bandicoot and Zane trilogy, and for there was like co-development with some of those teams. You just be like, here, take the bear and the bird, and make like just like the same thing you did to Crash, do it to Banjo. That's whatever. I don't my fantasy pitch, which will never happen in a million year because they like doing their own unique things and they like being weird and they like being odd. But it's exactly why I want them. is you give the bear and the bird to Tim Schafer in Double Fine, and you lean into the weirdness of Banjo Kazooie's world building that is like with like the very odd, very cartoony characters that are just like a little off kilter more than like the rest. And you have Mr. Psychonauts himself really delve into like a kind of, instead of, it's the same concept. You, instead of going between people's minds, it's still going between different like stage worlds like that. You make like a very, yeah, just like a Tim Schafery collectathon
Hmm.
in a way that Psychonauts is more of like a kind of an action platformer, I guess.
Um, I think that's interesting, for sure. See where you're coming from. As you were talking about it, I think it better put into perspective my thoughts of why I like the idea of Rare doing it,
Mm-hmm.
which was the dialogue in Banjo Kazooie, just the way it works. It's just like very tongue in cheek, very like uh silly, self referential. Like
Mm-hmm.
um, I it's almost like I don't know. There's some way that I can relate this somehow to like Arrested Development, and I can't think right now of how to convey that exactly. But just like yeah, just like the bits that it has, and the way that it talks about itself, kinda, or the
Mm-hmm.
industry, or just like whatever. Um, I could see like a new Banjo Kazooie game trying to like talk about its own history,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with some sort of quips and jokes and whatnot. Uh, and I think for me at least, that comes off different if it's Rare saying it rather than a different
Mm-hmm.
company making these
Yeah.
like quips about this game that it had no part of.
Yeah,
Um,
and to your point, just real quickly, I think part of me really agrees with you just because of like, I think I would, I might be moved to tears just opening a Banjo Kazooie game and seeing a Rare logo, like do like
sure.
the old classic, and I'd be like, because it just feels like it belongs, right?
Yeah.
More than almost any other thing, my brain remembers being a kid, Banjo Rare logo.
Hmm. I think with that point I made, I don't think it's like if Tim Schafer and Double Fine did make this game and they
Hmm.
were making these comments, I don't think it would come off as like malicious or disingenuous or anything, because I think it's very clear like the the character in the series is beloved, and I don't think uh it would be them like belittling it or whatever. It would just any sort of comments about its own history that another company would make while writing Banjo Kazooie is just out of pure love. Um,
Hmm.
it's just like, yeah, it just, I don't know, Rare doing that seems like a bigger deal to me, or more impactful, or just slightly even, but like it does feel different. Um, what did you collect in Banjo Kazooie, the original game? You collected Jiggies, right?
Jiggies,
You collected
Jinzos,
the
you had to go
Jinjos.
find.
Oh,
You had to get the music notes and you had to get honeycombs for like to level up your health.
and weren't there skulls from Mumbo Jumbo?
Yes, yeah, and skulls that you needed to pay Mumbo Jumbo to get the
So how many
transformations.
different collectibles do we just list off? Like five?
Yeah, like five.
How many are in Donkey Kong?
Mm.
You have
You
uh
have big
you
bananas.
got
You have
use the
the
use the
gems,
use the medical terms, please.
gold, big bananas.
Banandium.
They get banandians. You have the little the
Banandium
banana gems.
gems. Yeah.
Yeah, and gold. That might be it. That like really matters.
Fossils.
Everything other than that, Was it?
Fossils? Did you
Oh,
say
fossil. Yeah,
fossils?
no, you're right. Yeah, yeah. And there's three types of fossils for each world. So yeah, there's that.
Um,
And like, it's not really a spoiler. You get each world has one dude that's like, I'll give you a banana if you break this much of this type of earth.
okay.
So like, it does track that kind of stuff too, but that's not as like a collectible per se.
No, but so that, that was at least four different types of collectibles where one even
Hmm.
splits off into three different types of its own collectible. So I think it's I think it's possible to just keep throwing these collectibles in. Like I don't think
Hmm.
a banjo game needs to like rein in any of that. I think you can have, because what would you have? You had Jiggies are the
Hmm.
Banandium, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm. So you get unlocked worlds and progress through the game.
and then Jinjos. Man, I don't remember what this stuff was for.
In Tui, Jinjos are more important because of that's how you like that was the main plot of the game was the King Jinjo
Yeah.
needing them.
Um,
But in the first one, they're there really just to collect. They don't have a purpose very much.
that's fine. That's fine. It can be. You can easily assign something to them, like
Mm,
fossils being cosmetic.
mm,
Um, the notes are very much just like gold or coins.
mm,
Um, Mumbo Jumbo skull stuff can easily be skill points or something.
mm,
Um, so yeah, I think you can. I think you can fill the world in Banjo Kazooie with all these different types of collectibles, and in from what I can tell from Donkey Kong, but then also like Mario Odyssey, one of the great things in Mario Odyssey is if you see someplace and you go to it
mm,
and you're like, how can I, you figure out, how can I get there, how can I get over there, you're almost always rewarded with something. So just having in a Banjo Kazooie game, you keep those five different types of collectibles. You let people go wherever, do whatever, and just give them stuff. There's just more stuff to give away and to feel good. Like, oh,
mm,
the
mm,
developer
mm.
developer thought of this. They knew I would want to come over here and figure out a way, so they put something here for me. And now I can go to Mumbo Jumbo and gain this ability. Is Mumbo Jumbo problematic? Do we put Mumbo Jumbo in?
Yeah, that's a good question. Mumbo Jumbo or in who's the
Do we
one
just
Tui that
do we just
is like his rival?
do we just call him Mumbo? Do
Yeah,
we drop the
maybe
Jumbo? I
you
think you drop the
do.
Jumbo.
Because like yeah, shaman voodoo stuff and the way that mumbo jumbo is explored is problematic.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, ikum bukum.
Ecom, ecom,
You're right.
pokem.
Um,
He's
to
fine.
Domo made a point in the chat that I would like to was I guess kind of expand on and kind of combine what you're saying and what Domo's saying is that like I don't think it would happen because of how big Microsoft is and how much money needs to be thrown around and blah 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 ultra capitalist stuff. And I also don't know the exact relations between Platonic and Rare as entities. But Platonic, the ukulele devs,
Mm-hmm.
made up of all Banjo Kazooie era and like Donkey Kong Country era, Rare, and more. Obviously, they have people who didn't work on them, but like a lot of like the big people like in that company are um of that era,
Mm-hmm.
and like they like Grant Kirkhope, the people who did the person who did the music for Banjo Kazooie and Tooie,
And the DK rap.
also worked for them, and the DK rap. Never forget.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you could somehow do like a co-development thing again, the like money is a big issue. I think that would speak like to a really like sincere like we are like Microsoft being like, we want to do one for the fans, which
Mm-hmm.
is not what they're about, but they need PR wins.
They do.
Uh, and so like to think about like the magic of that, and like ukulele is a decent game. Ukulele, the 2D one is
Yeah.
way better. Um, but I'm confident in what they've learned from ukulele and what Rare knows from game design of working on Sea of Thieves and stuff like that,
And the
that they could
money that they
reach,
have.
and the money they have could reach a like really interesting kind of combination of like capturing the soul of Banjo
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
the gameplay, and just like maybe just go for a like not reinvent the wheel too much. Maybe Banjo 3 is Banjo 3. It's a collectathon, and it's tongue in cheek. It's making fun of itself, and like I'm sure Mumbo Jumbo will have a line being like, "Now that we've gone corporate, like I can't say ikum bukum anymore," or something. I don't know. Like, and you know, I think you could really capture something magical if the companies were willing to work together and wanted to.
Yeah, I think it would be very in the past. I think it would just be Microsoft just buys that team.
Mhm.
Um, I had 2 points that I wanted to bring up, and I only
I hope to God Platonic has been bought by
oh, I remember.
Microsoft.
No, I know exactly. Me too.
That
Um,
company is like not necessarily profitable enough for Microsoft.
no. So my thought was in Microsoft, they have teams put together that are like, hey, like they have just like I don't remember what they're called anymore. They're not called 343 anymore. They're just like
Mhm.
the Halo team.
Yeah, they're the Halo
So they
team.
have like the Halo team. They have the Gears of War team.
Mhm.
Um, if they did some restructuring and maybe hired some new people, do you think there's enough for them to make like maybe they pull from like their like toys from wait is Toys for Bob Microsoft or are they independent now?
That's a wonderful question. I'll do research live on air when you
But basically
continue.
what I
But
was saying is it's just like maybe you pull together a team uh that's like maybe they're the banjo team or maybe they're just like
Mhm.
the platformer team. Maybe they make banjo and crash. Um
Mhm.
and maybe maybe that's something that like you can do because Microsoft has been doing these like specified teams, and then like even in like Nintendo, Nintendo had for a while, which it's changed up, but like they had like one team for a while where it was like you're the Metroid team,
Yeah,
you're
your
the
Metro team, your Mario team, your
yeah like
3D Mario team.
they did have that, and I don't know, it's something that could work. um I I can see teams like that like burning out and just
Mhm.
being like I'm doing the same thing every year for every game and there's just like slight differences here and there.
Yeah,
Uh
you have to have like true love for the material, I think, to just be the sequel studio.
yeah, cuz like yeah, I don't know. If you're the art team,
Mhm.
like like you could argue that like that's a team that could stick around for a while cuz like you get to recreate things hopefully potentially in like
Mhm.
different artistic styles, which would be nice. But yeah, there are some people where I think it's just like you're doing the same thing for every game no matter what you're doing with like a platformer. um so it could be stale, but I don't know, maybe a team comes out of that. The other point that I just remembered what it was is if there was a new Banjo Kazooie, and this kind of goes
Mhm.
with what you were saying, where you're like, it could just be Banjo 3E, right? My
Hmm.
exact thoughts were like they could just like a new hope this, you know,
Hmm.
like Star Wars A New Hope came out as a like
Hmm.
the I don't want, I guess I don't want to call it a reboot cuz it's like the sequel series or whatever, but like that first movie of
Hmm.
the sequel series was very much just the first movie, and
So
people
you want Banjo Redewey?
I don't yes, but without calling it that.
Banjo remakey.
No, I don't want a remake though. That I mean, I'll take a
Yeah,
remake.
yeah.
I would take a remake. But yeah, I just I would like them to make a game, or I would be okay with them making a game that just hits the same notes as that, literally. That and, you know, solves the same puzzle pieces, the same jigsaw puzzles as that first game. Like if they could just like uh yeah, I don't want to say capture the same magic, but just follow that same sort of formula. I
Mhm.
guess I think they can make it work, and then just I don't know, throw in some new ways to do stuff with like the like how the transformation works and unlocking abilities. I don't know, make it cinematic.
Yeah.
Um,
You can really lean into so like one of the other well two things. One, to answer the question from forever ago, Toys for Bob layoffs in 2024, and then they responded by spinning off and they bought their independence from Activision and Microsoft.
mhm.
Um, and they became independent in May 2024. Um, but they forged a they have a publishing partnership with Microsoft. Microsoft's gonna publish their first independent game supposedly.
Okay, sure.
And then two, I think you I like the cinematicness and like even Banjo Tooie itself, like spoilers for a 30-year-old game or whatever. Like it opens with like really darkly, and it's like a cutesy Saturday morning cartoon darkly, but like all most of your friends from the first game just die in the
Mhm.
beginning
Mhm.
of the game. Um, and I think you can play around with like that kind of cutesy darkness, that kind of like silly darkness, because again, like Bottles is dead, but his ghost is still helping you. Um, like I think yeah, that part of like that slightly derangedness to Banjo Tooie, that British witticisms and like sarcastic dryness, I think does needs to stay,
I think that's, you
which
know
is
what,
why I would like Rare or Platonic to work on it.
that's what, yeah, you nailed it right there. That is kind of what I was trying to say with like the Banjo Kazooie game is just like, yeah, that Brit wit and dryness.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved. So
Mhm.
keep a team together
Do you
that can
think
do that.
last question, I guess, do you think that you still have people go "Meh, meh, meh,
Yes.
meh," or yo ho
Mm-hmm. I do.
talk? Okay, cool.
I
All
do.
right, I agree.
Yeah.
Glad we're unanimous in that.
Uh, how much voice acting is in Donkey Kong? How many? I guess how many
Uh,
characters have voices, and how often do they use their voices over their sounds?
Pauline has human voice, and
Mm-hmm.
she always talks in human voice.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, every character speaks a fictional language, whether it's Donkey Kong doing a very similar like like kind of thing, I guess. But like um the Void Kongs and stuff like they speak a made up language, and the Crystal people speak a made up language, and it's just like remember. And by the way, the explanation for that really early on, or like I don't think it's in the game. I think it's just in one of like the loading screen tooltips.
Mm-hmm.
Is just Pauline has perfect pitch, and that allows her to understand uh other languages, which is not how that
No,
works.
of course it
But
is. I
um
understand that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like that's how you can talk to DK.
Yeah.
So it's really just Pauline who speaks human voice.
She just speaks universal. She just
Hmm.
everyone can understand her because of her perfect pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else you would want to see from a Banjo Kazooie?
Bring back the bear and the bird. I don't need. vehicle customizations at all. The transformation sequences are integral, and it has to end on a quiz show.
Yeah,
There has to be a quiz show right before the final battle.
Gruntilda is one
Hmm.
of my favorite things about
You
those
lost on
games.
purpose, didn't you?
No. Um, but yeah, her whole bit and like the quiz show game show stuff is 100% has to be in there. I agree. Um,
Donkey Kong has quiz guys in almost every layer.
oh,
Hmm.
okay.
3D platformers and their love of quizzes is unbound.
Well, there was a company that did a lot of 3D platformers.
Mhm.
Rare. Rare
Mhm.
did the I don't know. They did Donkey Kong and Banjo.
Mhm.
Um and did they do I thought they did another one. I can't remember. Moving on from this mess of a show. Um please don't. Next up, this is interesting to me. Um we had a new indie games show called
Mhm.
Secret Sauce put on by Ludwig and Off Brand Games. Um, it was like an hour and a half, I think, show, and about an hour and 29 minutes of it was
Mhm.
just gameplay trailers.
Yeah,
It was just trailer after trailer after trailer. Very briefly throughout the show. I don't know if you watched the show or if you just watched the trailers, but
I skipped through everything that wasn't the trailers.
yeah, very briefly in the show, it would just be like Ludwig would pop in and have like a 5 second bit of something, and then it would just move on. So the show itself was mostly Conkers. That's what it was. You could have just said that out loud. You don't have
I
to.
didn't want to cut you
You
off,
don't have to
but then I
hide
cut you
it.
off via
You don't have
text.
to hide in the shadows of chat. Oh, to say I forgot about Conquer. Um, Now I've lost my train of thought. What was I even
Yes, I
talking
was
about?
trying to avoid that by not cutting you off. Sorry.
um, but yeah, so it was Secret Sauce, new show by Off Brand. Um, the thing before we get into like the actual show and what they showed that I think is interesting with this is the increase in content creators
Mhm.
getting involved in this type of space. And I thought about it briefly with off branded this game show
Mhm.
this game's showcase. Um, OTK does
Mhm.
their game showcase right around Summer Games Fest.
Mhm.
Um, Donkey has a publishing company. They did Animal Well. And there have been other, content creators who have been involved in making games
Mhm.
or you know, publishing and showcases and whatnot. And I quickly realized how kind of funny
Yeah, I was. If you weren't going to mention it, I was going to mention it.
they are, just that intersection of old media and new media.
Mhm.
And I think that's what I guess probably makes them so enjoyable and stick around is that old they're old games media doing new content creator media, and
Mhm.
they also have like indie game shows that they do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it just I don't know.
It's
It
if
for whatever reason, it helped me super respect kind of
mm-hmm.
funny a lot in what they're doing and like how they're able to stay around.
If you remember, like I don't know if you because you don't watch it as like daily as I do. I don't think.
No.
And there was during the pandemic when E3 was like, we're not actually doing a show. We canceled their entire show. Kind of funny. Like Greg on air was just went like, fuck it, why don't we do our own? And then that just like saying that kind of spun out into them actually trying to do like the first kind of funny game showcase that they did back in the pandemic was because they were like, well, indie games aren't going to be recognized like now. Like, well, there's just not the space for them. And
Yeah.
so, like, let's try doing something. And now that's just everywhere. So, like, it is like a little thing of seeing that and watching that happen in real time for me. And now seeing, you know, bigger names, as much as I love Kind of Funny, Ludwig is objectively has more reach.
Yeah.
Like, take that mantle and like I always go back and forth on like I hope Ludwig cares about this kind of stuff, and that he's doing it to like out of passion and not just doing it just to like just to do it or whatever. But that's not neither here nor there. It's still awesome regardless that there's now more and more eyes on indie game developers and more eyes on brand new, like kind of the lifeblood of the scene, as
Mm-hmm.
we call it, because without the 5,000 indie games, 10,000 indie games that come out a year, the year looks really barren objectively. Like
Yeah.
if we didn't have like if I didn't have like 20, 30 indie games, then like, oh, what am I playing on my PS5? What am I like playing on Steam if I have to wait for the next like big giant thing? I don't know.
Maybe we're better. You know what? Maybe we're better off without indie games because then I'll be able to finish a game before the next game comes out.
You
Just,
just
just
gotta
kidding.
shut yourself in your house,
Yeah,
never talk to people, and then you'll beat games.
yeah, just kidding. Um, but I'm just gonna post kind of funny's Twitch. They're not live. I'm just gonna post a link to their
Mhm.
Twitch in chat. People can click on
Shout
it
out
and
to them.
follow them, and they have a YouTube and whatnot.
Mhm.
Um, but again, yeah, they for me are that perfect in between of
Mhm.
content creator and games media. Um, but yeah, so that's just how I want to start off talking about the secret sauce thing. It's just how it's interesting to me that the old days we would have IGN and GameSpot, um, or E3 stuff like that, doing these kinds of of things, and now it's content creators. Um, and if I guess if I think about it for this one, like Ludwig is the content creator.
Yeah, there's.
But also it's it's his company off brand that's doing it. So I
Mhm.
don't know. He's just the face.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's super cool that this stuff is able to like it just feels like constantly come out. Like I feel like we're getting more of these showcases than ever. And there's
Mhm.
always stuff in there that, whether I missed it in the last showcase or
Mhm.
just if it's brand new, there's always something there where I'm like, oh, cool, this is interesting. This is neat. I really like this. And like, doesn't take a lot of my time to go through this. Um, but getting into the games for
Yes, I
for
cherry picked three of them for you.
yeah, I'm gonna I'll throw these up here. You you've got first one here is Alabaster Dawn.
Yes,
I,
this is the one I'm most excited for.
I think this was their first game that they showed off too.
Yes, yeah, it's the first game that was on the Secret Sauce.
Mm,
It is the second game by this studio.
yep.
It is made by the people who made Crosscode, which is one of my favorite independent games of all time. has a lot of charm. It is an action puzzler with an isometric angle. If you put this game and Crossroad next to each other, you can clearly see the evolution, because like while the environment and how you're moving and like the bullet and the blocking and the shooting, I mean the sword stuff all looks fairly similar, but the 3D model animations in this game are so gosh darn good. And like there's just so many like little moments that I'm just like I'm gushing over how pretty it looks. um, I'm so excited for this.
Yeah,
There's like I'm trying to remember exactly where like in the trailer you see the how like some of the animation. I'm just like blown away.
I Crosscode was a game that I remember
Mhm,
looking at and being like, "Oh, this is really pretty." Um,
mhm,
there's something about this game and the way it moves with its like these are 3D models, right? You said 3D
mhm,
model, but they
mhm,
like everything. It looks like pixel art. It looks very pixely. Um, I just it the way it moves and looks is just so cool to me.
mhm,
Um, I'm just so interested in like looking at it and just being like, oh man, how do you make pixels look like this? How do you make this pixel art
mhm,
style, I guess, like move and look like this and feel like it's a pixel game still, you know?
mhm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that it looks really cool. It was a strong opener
Mhm,
to that showcase, I thought. I don't know if you noticed this through the showcase, but like it felt like the showcase was like evolving where
mhm,
the start of the showcase was pixel games,
mhm.
and then like it was almost like the graphics like the polygons
Yeah,
started increasing.
you're right, because you say that now, because then we got into like a portion of like everything was voxel based,
Yeah.
and then we were at like near the end where it was
It
more,
was like more
I
traditional
guess like
3D,
granular.
like yeah.
I
So
didn't put it, but there's that peak looking sledding game.
yeah,
Mhm.
that game is even less of a game than Peak is. Like I've learned that these are like people call them friend slop.
Yeah.
That's what these games people are referring to as friend slop, where it's just like
Ah,
whatever. It's like
hangout games. Yeah.
yeah, and
I don't like using the word slop though. It feels derogatory.
it feels I get that. If I was to use the term friend slop, uh, if Peak is friend slop, it has less of the slop in it, and
Than the friend.
and no, it has more friend than slop.
Uh,
Um, because the game there's like the slop part of these like friend slop games to me is to me saying like how loose of a goal you have, how loose of like the gameplay is, and like your objectives,
mhm,
and like I don't know, Peak's objective seems pretty clear cut, uh,
mhm.
and like the mechanics seem pretty clear cut, whereas like that sledding game is very much. Yeah, I don't know how to explain my friend slop analogy I was trying to make, but like the sledding game is more web fishing,
Yeah.
where it's just like we have
Oh man, webfish is so good though.
we're just kind of hanging out in a world together, and like we can sled down a mountain and throw snowballs and play darts, and like there's no real objective to anything. We're just like existing in this virtual world together
Mhm.
where they've given us some like mechanics and characters to like run around with. Um,
Yeah, that's what kind of why I just prefer like I just prefer them as like hangout games, because that's
yeah,
what you're doing and there are mechanics, and like if you're having fun with it, and the quality of the game, like I don't know, it shouldn't be treated as like something as like seemingly negative as the word slot.
yeah,
Um and actually this is, I know I'm derailing us. Are all of these games just like trying to capture VR chat like a little
a
bit?
little bit, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
that's my like view of it as well as just like
Mhm.
VR chat is very much like the baseline of like a lot of
Mhm.
these like hangout friend slop games.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um Domo said hear me out in chat, so I'm just gonna hear him out. I'm just gonna hear him
I'm
out.
gonna hear him
We're
out.
gonna hear him out
I'm
for
gonna
a
hear him
second.
out.
Chat says hear me out. Um but yeah, there wasn't really, other than the sledding game, I don't think there was any more of those
Hmm.
uh hangout games in here that I can think of. Um there was a section of off-brand games because off-brand is also a publisher. Okay, Domo says peak content warning Among Us, French Slop Olympics, hosted by Off-Brand or
You
something.
gotta add Lethal Company just for me because I that game also has chaotic energy.
It's it. This is a little off topic now, but um, I never looked at Among Us as Friend Slop. It kind of is. It's more. It's more. Uh, what is it? Hidden identity.
Hmm.
Um, but Lethal Company for me is where this genre like started.
But like you could argue, I mean, I see where Domo's going with this because like you could also argue the same of like Fall Guys.
I don't want to do this conversation anymore. uh, Fall Guys is not
Yeah,
slop. And that's the only reason why I don't.
see, that's why I don't like the
I know I
term.
don't like the term. That's what it comes down to. Is I don't like the term.
Secret sauce.
I don't like the term.
What else is in the
I don't
secret
like the
sauce?
term friend slop. Um, Secret Sauce showed a section where they showed some of their games. You've got one of them here.
Yeah,
Aethermancer.
yeah.
Talk about it. I don't
I
know.
actually, I have to, I yeah, I will give me a second. I actually have to re up this one. The Alabaster one is the one I had locked and loaded in
Oh,
my brain. Oh yes, okay, yes. This is a Mon like um not Mon like it's a yeah.
Monster Tamer.
Mon again, a monster tamer like it's just monster tamer. I don't need to add the word like at the end. This is made the people who made Monster Sanctuary. Monster Sanctuary is a Mon game that is a Metroidvania exploration game with monster RPG battles. This is very much in a similar um, tone, a monster tamer with you have three monsters, you have like a complex RPG mechanics, but also you're exploring a isometric 3D world where I'm assuming there's going to be Metroidvania mechanics in it as well. It's a really neat um, kind of like concept for like to melding of genres, I guess to say. It helps keep it fresh, where instead of just being like a what's it, totem, or a pal. I guess Pal World also fuses genres, but like it just adds another extra spice um to like keep you engaged when you're not just like getting your cool monsters and evolving them. And it looks pretty.
It
And
does.
the monster designs don't look like Pokemon, which I always like it when it has like a visual distinction.
Yes, you can. They are. They look like monsters, and they look like they could have some sort of typings.
Hmm.
Um, but I agree that they do not just look like Pokemon. I do not look at like I paused on this end screen here. These three monsters, I don't look at any of those three and say that's clearly like XYZ because like
Yeah.
that's not like if you're gonna make a parallel on this top guy to being like Houndoom,
Hmm.
you're it
Like you certainly could try.
you could it's just like a wolf like creature that is also
Hmm.
fire. But like Pokemon has 1,000 something Pokemon. Like you're gonna run into those
Hmm.
very little parallels. The overall design does not look like Houndoom though. It's just
Hmm.
a fire dog. Like his main fire thing is on his tail. Houndoom isn't like that. So I agree. There, I'm gonna look right now because
I did I did miss it does say it's a roguelike,
it
which
is.
also makes me very interested because, that was your bread and butter trying to do this
Yeah, it is.
forever
It
ago.
is roguelike. It is um what is the word I'm looking for? It is almost, or I don't know if it is a, oh my god, what is that Pokemon fan game type? Not Ironmon. Not Kaizo.
Kaizo?
Not
No,
Kaizo.
Nuzlocke?
Nuzlocke.
No.
Not, no, 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 Nuzlocke. I think this game does have a Nuzlocke mode to it also, I believe.
Mhm. It's
Um
cool. Cool.
I could be wrong on that. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's a cool game. It looks cool. I You can play the demo now. I saw the
Mhm.
demo played like, I want to say like a year ago or something. It's been a while and it looked good then, and like it very much looked like the game mechanics and everything was done. So I can only imagine they've just been like polishing and adding more, maybe doing the story or whatnot. But this is, I wasn't excited to see this in the show because I already knew so much about it, but
Mhm.
it's one of the games in the show that I think uh I'm more likely to play. Like I'd be
Mhm.
excited to play this. I want to see if it says anything different on its Steam store page. Um
I
it
will say that, like,
just coming soon.
as we were talking about earlier about it, is like there's something really cool about the indie scene being able to take a fan game type mode like a Pokemon Nuzlocke or like a fan type rule setting, something like that, and being like, what if I just make a game out of it? Um, and the flexibility to be able to do that is really good because, like, obviously the Pokemon company is never going to be like, obviously we talked about Showdown a little bit, but like, not they're not going to take a extreme hard ruling of a video game that people do as a challenge and
Yeah,
make a whole game based off it.
I can't
It
see
would
that either.
alienate everyone. But like but being an indie dev, you're able to be like, you know what, there's a market for that, let's make a market tailored to that. And
Yeah.
I think that's something um awesome, incredible.
And something, you know, take what you, I guess you will from this, but like I had seen people playing the demo, like I don't know if it's the same demo or a different demo, but months and months ago I saw people playing it. And uh again, this is published by Off-Brand Games, which is linked with Ludwig, the content creator. So like he's in the content creation space and he does a lot of collaborations with other content creators. But what I had seen from content creators looked like they were genuinely enjoying it. Um, so like hopefully just like seeing what looks like genuine enjoyment and just like what I see from the game, like I think it's gonna be cool. Um, your last thing you put on here, why can't I find it, was a game called
Stretch Mancer.
Stretchmancer.
We
Um,
get two Mancers back to back.
we got another. We had Aethermancer. This is
Hmm.
Stretchmancer. Um, Surely Dinnermancer shows up in the chat sometime soon.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, this again, this was towards the end of the showcase where
Hmm.
the graphics had evolved into this sort of 3D, these polygons. What made you choose this one to highlight?
Uh, a couple of reasons. One, um, it just is stylistically and gameplay wise just different from the last two games.
Hmm.
Like, and I didn't want to just make my recommendations to check out the ones that were like, I wanted to have diversity in them. But two, in the same way of like Subliminal
Hmm.
took a concept such as just like perspective changing, this seems to be doing really neat stuff with puzzles in the way that, like, oh yeah, if I just basically, if I change the FOV of what I'm doing right now, it's obviously you're stretching the environment, but it kind of almost is like, yeah, you're you're putting the FOV farther back. You can now manipulate the world like this and solve puzzles that way. I think that is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it can make for a clever, fun little puzzler game. It seems to have action bits as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I like these cartoony little characters they got,
Yeah,
like
like
that little cat.
on the monitor, and
Yeah,
yeah, I agree.
and it seems to be going for like a kind of humor puzzler, maybe in a way about like a portal or whatnot.
Mm-hmm. 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 Um,
Uh, Thought it looked neat.
I've got 3 games lined up as well. I've got the
Mm.
Steam store page open, so I'm just gonna.
You hid them from me, so I don't know
I
what
was
you're about to tell.
because I just clicked on them now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't know what I.
So prepared.
Yeah.
We were so prepared today on my 4 hours of sleep in your work hell.
Yeah. It's just freaking work. First game I'm bringing up is um Demon Tides,
Oh yeah,
which you
I almost put this on my list.
I figured you would have. This is their third game now, right?
Yeah, Demon Turf is the one I played, and then I think there might have been another
There was
one.
definitely another one, but I can't remember what it was called. Demon Tides, Demon Turf. Um,
He's so cute.
I can't remember, but they all have, you know, or not.
Same main character.
I'll say actually the first one I think might have been first person. I can't remember, but like they're all very clearly linked together and just like the type of gameplay they are. They just look like fun momentum, like
Mm-hmm.
mobility based like platformers. I think visually every one of these new like demon games that come out looks better and better. Um, it feels like this is a team that just like as they make games, they just keep refining and getting better at it,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's cool and fun to see. But yeah, this is one of the ones where I thought like this will surely be one of the games that coming out of this showcase is good. Uh, but
One of the old things, just talking about the Demon series in general, is that like we were talking about Donkey Kong Bonanza, there's a lot of really cool movement tech in these video
yeah,
games where you're swapping between demon forms in order to do some crazy platforming. Um, that is really rewarding if when you get to nailed down.
um, Cybercats and Chat says it's this new game, art style Breath of the Wild ish art style. Um,
Like a watercolory. See, why can't I think of the cell shade a little bit?
I think it's just cell shaded. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, little inky cell shaded.
Mm-hmm.
After they said that, there was a section that like it ran through that I was just like, I see similarities, I guess. Um, I don't think I call this that personally. Um, but the yeah, if I can bring up the other games they had, Demon Turf. I swear there was another one,
And
right?
then there's Demon Turf DLC, I
There
think
is
there
Demon
is.
Turf DLC. This is Demon Tides. Maybe I'm just thinking the DLC, but they keep doing stuff with this Demon series, and I don't know. It looks good. It's very much just like uh here's some tech that we like in platform games, and go do cool tech. The next game I've got, I've seen this game played once before the showcase, and it was up my alley, and so I was happy to see it here for hopefully more people to see. But it's the Royal Writ, a lane
Well,
based deck builder. Um, I love the art style of it. Um, and also just like deck builders are cool for me. Um, this game has a little bit of like Balatro to it, where Balatro has its like, oh my god, what is it? It's multipliers. It's like if you look at Balatro, it has like the red and the blue numbers, and it's like modifiers and alts or multipliers or whatever. This has that for combat. You can kind of see it on like the side on the right side over here. Like you can see the 338 times 38. So it has like a weird take on like Balatro's system, but as combat, and going
Mhm.
across 3 lanes. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I'm mostly into this just because it like I like the style of it a lot, and
I li-
I like card games.
you do love card games. I like the style of this a lot too. Very old school picture book,
Yeah, yeah,
like kind of aesthetic.
exactly. And it has like
Reminds me a little bit of Munchkin, but in a
okay,
positive way instead of a negative way.
yeah. I get, no, I see that. It also does have a little bit of like this like you saw it there, like this rogue like esque.
The Slay the Spire map.
Yes, exactly. It has the Slay the Spire like map where you go along. What did it say? It came out comes out August 7th. So pretty cool. Again, Yogscast Games, another like Yogscast was or is, I don't know. They're content creator people,
Mhm.
and they're helping publish this game and make this game. It's just that's the world we live in now. Video game content creators get money and they come out and they help people put out games. So that's cool. Um,
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I think just more money is in games is good.
yeah. Um, so yeah, this is cool. This is a really cool looking game. I think. You can play the demo now, as you can see on the Steam page, and then the game comes out in a couple of weeks. Um, but just really cool style to that one. Uh, and then again, there is one more thing that I kind of want to look into more before I talk about it, and that was I think it was called like
Mhm.
Heroes Forge. Um,
Mhm.
I don't remember what it's called now actually. If that was it,
It
because I'm not finding it when I look it up. Because I know Heroes Forge was
like
like
the board game, like
yeah, but
the
it's not that. So it was something Forge. Well, let me look through
Mhm.
here real quick. Um, I'll find it
It took
eventually.
everything in me, by the way, not to make us watch the Bandit Crusaders um, the trailer for this segment. But
There's
my brain was like, I need to stop making us watch CRPGs. I was like, I don't think anyone in the community cares about it. I think it's just me.
there are
Uh,
there are a lot of game trailers in this that I like. So like, we
mhm,
can drop them somewhere. But there yeah, there like maybe I even just go through some of them real quick. We don't have a ton of time left, but um I found exactly what I'm looking for. Adventure Forge. There's a thing that they showed off called Adventure
mm,
Forge, um, which you can wishlist on Steam. It's a game engine, basically. It's about building your own games. Um,
oh,
without code is like how they describe it, and they show off like a bunch of different
mhm,
types of games that look like fairly um like deep and customizable, and it's not just like just plugging in and playing like stuff that they gave you. But I need to look into that more. But the last game that I wanted to show off, I've talked about it before. I played it on stream, and it's Mars Attacks.
Marge.
It hits a genre that I think is cool and I like, and it puts it with a wacky IP where this game is Zoo Tycoon meets like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but is Mars Attacks. And it's just
Uh,
so weird and wild to me. I don't know what you're grooving to. My volume is off.
No, I'm not grooving. I was I didn't want to cut you off, but I started singing Tom Waits because that's what kills the aliens in Mars
Oh,
Attacks.
okay.
It's not unusual to be.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Okay. Um, but yeah, this is another game that it's like there's a demo out for it. I played a little bit of it and like understood immediately what it was, so I like backed off. But like it is a wild game. Like if you like Roller Coaster Tycoon and Zoo Tycoon, this
Mhm.
has stuff for that in it. So like um it it has rides that you can build and put in there, and it has like the queue lines, and it has the different kind of concession stands. You can set the prices to everything just like you can in like a Roller Coaster Tycoon,
Mhm.
right? There's like a tech tree or a research tree that you can go through to get new types of rides or whatnot. um and then the Zoo Tycoon part of this game is um you are creating enclosures that you are putting humans into um from different time periods. So like in the demo, like I had like a Roman Empire enclosure where I
Mhm.
the aliens went and abducted uh people from the Roman Empire, and I threw them in an enclosure. And then within the enclosure, you can put different things for them. Like you put a thing to feed them and water them, and a place for them to sleep and to bathe. And you put like a research tower in there for so you have somebody watching them, so you can get research points for
Mhm.
them to potentially unlock more things for their
Mhm.
enclosures. And then you can run experiments on them. Um, and running those experiments is an attraction in itself that the aliens are going to want to watch happen in the enclosure. And then you get like different types of research points depending on what types of research you do on them, whether it's like dismemberment and putting new parts on them, um rearranging their organs, like whatever. There's like all kinds of different torturous research that you do on these humans, that gets you points to unlock new stuff. Um, and then yeah, there's I don't know. It's a tycoon game. It's a tycoon
Yeah.
game
It
mashed.
seems like a really like yeah, it's like a fun tycoon
It's
like gameplay loop.
it's really silly. It's really goofy,
Mhm.
and really weird to see the Tops logo on here and have it not be like baseball cards.
That is silly.
Um,
Uh,
but yeah, the biggest like silliness from this for me is obviously the Mars Attacks IP, and like who who is this? This is strictly aimed at like millennials, right?
mhm.
Because like
Yeah, is it, I think I always find it so weird when they're like, let's take one IP that has some cachet
yeah
and like let's just attach a video game to it. But this seems to have more care than like a normal like tie-in, and you don't typically make like a IP tie-in this far out for something. So like
yeah
this is some dude just having this idea, walking up to whoever owns the rights to Mars Attacks proper, and being like, "Hey, can I do this?" And them going, "Yeah, yeah, why not?"
I imagined it being like such a small interaction where a guy is thinking about games. He's trying to pitch. He just watched Mars Attacks the night before, and he was like, you know what? I want to date the aliens. So he's like, he goes into the meeting room and he's just like, Mars Attracts as a
Chris, I've learned the whole thing.
and then they were like, oh yes, attractions, yes, theme parks, and then he was like, no no no, it's a dating sim, and they're like, no, get out of here. What did you learn?
In 1962, a science fiction themed trading card series was released by Topps called Mars Attacks. And it was a TCG that was marketed towards children and popular, but it had a bunch of gore on the cards. And but yeah, it was just like a card game, and then in 1980 it became they merchandised it, comic books, reprints, and then the movie came out.
Dang.
Interesting. So
So
that's why it's tops. I've
Tops
learned we've all learned something today.
Tops owns Mars Attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's weird. That's an interesting bit of now you know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so those are my three games. I won't show them off real quick, but some other games if I just like quickly scroll through this like top demos thing. I liked the look of Gigasword.
Mm-hmm. That was good.
Um, I thought as another like sort of monster collector sort of thing, Montabi looked
That looks
neat.
like a BattleNet game to me, and that might be too derogatory sounding.
No, BattleNet. People
Like
love
it, like
BattleNet.
Adventure Quest. Yeah, I just watched somebody try to play Adventure Quest in 2025, and I hurt my
Uh,
eyes.
um,
Um,
and then speaking of the BattleNet game, there was I'm not gonna know the name of it off the top of my head, but there was another BattleNet game that was also one of like the new fad of bottom of your screen games where
oh
like
yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't take
I said BattleNet. I meant Battle On.
oh, I don't know what that
That's
is.
what I mean. It's like the old like um web browser games you could play in
Oh,
like the early 2000s.
I was thinking BattleNet because you said BattleNet like Mega Man BattleNet.
Yeah, there was one of those though. There was a network that looked really cool. But then I saw it was one of those bottom of the screen games. I'm like, I don't care
Oh
about
yeah,
this. It's fine.
Berserk Bits. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
It's a bottom of your screen game, which is interesting. I'd be interested to try one of these where yeah, it just takes up like the bottom like eighth of your screen or whatever, and like part of it is active where you're like actively like
Mm.
maybe doing battles or whatnot, and then it's like part idle game where there's just stuff happening while you're doing like whatever on the rest of your
Yeah,
screen.
actors, yeah.
Um, and then the last game, this game called Demon Bluff, which was another like card game, roguelike, social
Mhm.
deduction strategy type of game that seems up my alley. I briefly saw that Northern Lion was playing it today, and that's how I know it's going to be good. It
I
was
also
like,
wanted to quick shout, or sorry, you finished and
I was
then
gonna
you
say it
want
was
a quick
like
shout.
140. I looked at it recently. We were streaming. It was like 140, and he was playing it. So I was like, all right, if he's playing this deep into the stream, it means he likes it. So that's cool.
I just also want to shout out Neon Inferno for people who've been wanting a Metal Slug game and haven't got a real Metal Slug game and don't want to buy a game made by SNK.
Yeah,
Um, it looks very pretty. It's got very pretty pixel animation, and it's co-op. So
yeah, yeah. Um, so that's it for Secret Sauce. Last bit. I don't think we have like too much to talk about this.
yeah,
Um,
you can yap and talk
but
about how we prophesize this into being.
yeah, because we talked about it a little bit last week with the
Mhm.
Zelda movie coming out, and they have now. What was it like the day after?
It was I have the exact moment. I have the exact moment. I can
This is July 16th. Yeah, our last show was the July 15th. So
yeah.
the very next day.
I'm looking at a
Um,
GM and then I lost it.
but yeah, we now have. I'll bring up this article. We now have the actor and
Oh, it's just
actress who is playing Link and Zelda in the Zelda movie that is scheduled for release in is it 2027, May 2027.
mhm.
Did you find what you're looking for?
Yeah, I just wanted to see if it was the day after. I
It,
just wanted to know.
yeah, day after. So um, it's not Hunter, not Hunter Schafer.
Mhm.
I do agree. Hunter Schafer just seemed like a fantastic pick for Zelda.
Cybercats, Did you listen to our last show? Because I said out loud, if Hunter Schafer isn't Zelda, then she should be Samus.
Yeah, oh yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, I said that out
Make
loud. So,
make a Metroid movie, and Hunter Schafer can be Samus. Um,
oh,
Hunter Schafer, the Metroid Hunter.
mhm.
But yeah, so the casting for this,
Really
young
dry joke.
young British actors, Bo Bragason and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth.
Hmm.
Um, young casting.
Yes.
I think uh the actress playing Zelda is like 20, and the actor playing Link is like 17 or something like that currently.
Yeah.
Um, I don't hate that.
Hmm.
I don't hate having these actual uh young adult children playing these characters. I kind of like it. Um, I think they look the part fine enough, like
Yeah.
um we don't know what this movie is based on. We
Yeah. No
just
idea, and we don't know what they're gonna take from. Chris and I talked about that last week about like what Zelda game do you make a movie based off? And honestly, you probably
yeah,
just amalgamate it. You don't have an older boy, I don't think, so I don't think you do Ocarina in like the most like straightest way.
yeah,
You'd have to do like a you'd have to also have an older Link actor, I think.
yeah. So
Um,
so it's that is a
it's
part
just
of
kind
it,
of
is like not knowing what this movie really is. I think it's hard to comment fully on the casting, because
mhm.
it's like, I don't know. Imagine if this is just Wind Waker, but they made Wind Waker
Yeah.
live action. Uh, because those are
What
children.
the yeah, I'm gonna steal a bit from someone else, but I really like it. Right? You make this movie a two-parter. It's Link to the Past. You end the movie Dark World, and I go, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. But at the
I
same
tried to
time, yeah,
figure
I
it
don't
out.
know.
That didn't work
It's
at all.
Legend of Zelda. It's gonna have the Triforce. It's gonna have Link
Yeah.
and Zelda and probably Ganon.
Who's Ganon? How much older is Ganon
Jason
than
Momoa.
these people?
No, you. I
John
think you
Cena.
do. I think you do. Hopefully, another relatively unknown. I think keeping it an unknown. Although the boys was in Blind Manor as a youth. But
Yeah, it's interesting because like I guess they're like relatively unknown, but like they have done big roles. They're just young,
mhm,
so it's like
mhm.
they weren't necessarily the big. What the heck? I didn't mean to do that again. Oh wait, it worked. I just wanted to get their faces bigger. Um, I I'm almost under the impression that the maybe it's Ganon. Uh,
Mhm.
maybe it's the king. I don't. There's gonna be someone in this movie, I think, that's going to be the name of
Yeah,
of the movie. Um, I,
which I don't necessarily need,
no.
especially if you're trying to keep the budget down so you can spend the billions of dollars you're gonna have to spend to make this look good.
Why do I have these? Yeah.
I
Um,
don't know. Like worst case scenario, this movie's like Jack and the Giant Slayer. I think. I think like
I don't
I don't
want
know if
it.
you remember that
I
movie.
do. I don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying like the worst case is like it's gonna look and feel like that
Sure,
because
sure.
like best
Um,
case scenario it's vaguely Lord of the Rings, I guess. I don't know.
yeah,
Best case scenario is animated.
yeah. But I am interested. I'm excited to see them in costume.
Yeah. You don't think that's their costume right there? You don't think that's a slightly off green tunic and then Zelda's blue dress
I
from Breath of the Wild?
I mean, I think these pictures were chosen on purpose.
Yeah.
But I don't think that these are their costumes. No, I think these were their costumes from whatever movies these were from.
Sure,
Um,
sure.
but yeah, it'll be interesting to see the rest of the casting, but then just like how how does this kid look in the Link getup? How much of the movie is Link in the classic green tunic? How much of
Mm,
he is he in something like a Breath of the Wild sort of just like, you know, thrown together like articles of clothing? Uh
mm.
what dungeons do they go to? Do they go to multiple dungeons? Is it just over? I don't know. There's a lot about this movie, but this is
I,
the
just,
cast, and it's
I
okay.
said it last week. I'll say it again. This is an impossible task to make a live action Legend
Yeah.
of Zelda movie, and I will be sat regardless. But
Yeah.
I need to know more about it
Yeah.
because it baffles me.
Uh
But
but
they
yeah.
look enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't look at them and think, why did we do this? This doesn't work. It's fine.
Hmm.
It's fine. We'll see what happens with the movie. And I think with that you know, we're wrapped up. We're wrapped up.
Yeah. If you're all live, stick with us. We'll do the game duel.
Yeah, we're gonna end the podcast. We'll have our little end show, and then do the game duel, and then I'll go to work, and
Hmm.
you'll go
I'll go
have fun playing
do some
games or
work.
something, Dokapon or
Yeah.
whatever.
Dog
Um,
on.
I think I don't know if I have anything like really planned for the rest of the week for like
We could.
games necessarily. Like I think I'll
Hmm.
whatever free day I have Friday or Saturday, I'll probably stream for a little bit and play
Hmm.
something. Maybe we get back into our Dokapon or you know,
Yeah.
I'll figure out something. But
Yeah. I might take a break and not just do the post game content for DK now since I 100% of the main game. I
mhm,
might just like let it sit.
mhm,
I am 2/3 of the way through Triangle Strategy, so I
mhm,
might finish that.
mhm.
Um,
Um,
and
I I mean, I know a game that I want one of us to play,
what is it?
but I know one of us won't play it.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
It involves a certain man,
Oh, now I'm more confused. I don't know what we're talking about.
Shadow Labyrinth,
Oh yeah, dude,
Pac-Man.
no, no.
Um,
There's no shot. There's no shot. I'm giving Bandai Namco. Well, I mean, okay, I like Bandai Namco. I shouldn't phrase it like that. I'm not giving Evil Pac-Man any money.
I also
You
phrased
could,
this super confusing and weird, so
um, we could do a whole segment on how much I hate the concept of Evil Pac-Man. Uh, his name is Puck. You get it? Because it's a reference to Puck Man and the
yeah.
Scott Pilgrim bit. I don't know. Next week we'll talk about games coming out in August.
Oh
I
my
think.
God, it's almost August.
Yeah.
You're so right. Next week it'll be the 29th. So yeah, the end of that week is August. So we'll probably see what's coming out in August.
Mhm.
Um,
There are rumors that there's going to be a direct still in July. A
which
Nintendo
is
Direct. I don't.
if there's a direct in July, it's this week or next week.
Yep.
So
Uh,
I feel like we would probably know by next week if there
mhm.
is a direct or has been one for July. Um, yeah, this week lined up really nicely where there was just like a nice easy bit of topics to talk about.
Mhm.
Gonna have to work for topics next week. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's it.
I'll have to beat another game in 4 days.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, we'll see you guys next week. I'll probably stream, like I said, on Friday or Saturday. Um, and then we'll be back here Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, ish, depending on our how tired we are from our nights before, because we party hard on Mondays.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
I'm
it's
waking up from my 4 hours of sleep. Like finally, halfway through the show, I started to feel like, oh wait, I'm alive again.
yeah. I need to eat and go to work. But first, we play the gamble
Gamble.
on the post show. Uh, we'll
Stick
see you
around.
there. Gonna end this show now if
Mhm.
I remember how. Goodbye. We'll see you soon. We'll see you next week.
I yield my time.
Yay! You did it too soon because I don't remember how to do the show end. I hit it, but it didn't work.
I'll be right back while you get the game already.
Okay. Bye.